to one of our favorites and close to our hearts organization that we work with every year, and that is the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is an organized nonprofit organization that raises money, that also provides home shelters and physical and mental health for LGBTQIA youths around the country. It's actually around the world. They have many different sites open up throughout the world. And especially during this time of year when it gets colder and it gets to the season of the giving, we always like to have these charity events where we can raise money and provide for this wonderful organization. So you can easily donate money by hitting the donate to Twitch link below, or Nightbot, our bot inside the chat, will pop up periodically with a very long and obscure link that you can easily click on and use that to donate directly to our site called A Tale of Hearts and Homes. Also, this stream is sponsored by Magpie Games, and Magpie Games has graciously given us several prizes to give away in honor of the Trevor Project. And how do you enter? Well, every Friday, where except for the last episode, we'll be doing that on the 31st. We are going to be giving away a Magpie Games core book, and you can enter by in the chat, just putting by yourself, no quotes, no exclamations, no ats, just in the chat, Magpie Space Madness. That's it. Uppercase, lowercase does not matter as long as it is Magpie Space Madness. Magpie space Madness. And when you enter that, the bot will go ahead and pick you up. And on Friday, as we play Urban Shadows, we will reveal a new winner. And that winner will get their choice from games such as Cartel, Mask, Bluebeard's Bride, Pilion, and many, many others. A lot of the games that you will be seeing here played this month. So, with that being said, I am going to hand over the reins to our GM of the Even, Luis-Miguel. So please take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is, as Tailweaver just graciously mentioned, Luis-Miguel. My pronouns are he, him, and I am a CPP GM for Magpie Games. So if you'd ever like to see or sign up for any of my games in the future, outside of just this lovely sponsored game tonight, you can find me at magpiegames.com/pages /Louis Miguel, just as the same spelling as we see right here on this lovely stream. So yes, thank you so much. And I will be running this beautiful one shot of Masks, a new generation Halloween edition, if you will. Spooky October. And I will actually be running this game for these beautiful four individuals. And I will actually go ahead and shed the spotlight on some of them as well, real quick. I believe we've already heard from our awesome Tail Weaver, who'll be playing the fantabulous Niles. I'm sorry. Why don't you tell us who you'll be playing tonight, Tail Weaver?
Oh, well, no worries. So, hello. My name is Niles Rivers, and I am known as the Soul Warden, guardian of the underworld, and loyal follower of our god Anubis.
Nice. And we will also be playing tonight with Zendaric. Who will you be
Hel-
playing tonight, hon?
Hello, everybody. I am Zendaric, otherwise known as Travis, he, him. But tonight I'm playing Seraphine Blythe, and her superhero name is Sparkle, and she is a sorceress supreme in training with the Pink Witch's Arcana Nomicon, and she is a Nova.
Love it. And that is certainly not to be outdone by our lovely Divergent Triad.
I don't know if I can follow that. I didn't come up with a crazy book name. That's incredible. Well, I'm Divergent Dryad, also known as Marie, off of Discord. When I'm not, I guess this is actually my first stream, so I shouldn't say when I'm not streaming. Hello. I run a little TTRPG server called Misfit Manor, designed with accessibility and neurodiversity in mind, built by a neurodivergent for neurodivergence. So yeah, you can always reach out to me. I love playing and running games, all things TTRPG. Oh, pronouns she they. And my character is that now? Okay, I'll be playing Titania Moonflower Bloom. Moonflower
Oh, I'm
is.
sorry. Just the name.
Oh,
Oh.
perfect. Then I'll just stop talking.
And last but certainly not least, you're so silly. Morgana.
Hi, all. My name is Morgana. It is the name you will find me on most of the things electronic. This is also my first time streaming, so very excited to be here. I will I'll be playing her name's like Valerie Plum or whatever. Her superhero name is like Mountebank. Yeah, she's basically if catfishing was a superhero. Yeah.
And what is your playbook, my love?
Beg pardon?
And what playbook will you be playing tonight?
Oh, using the delinquent playbook.
I should have just gone off the catfishing line. Thank you.
That is amazing.
Phenomenal. All right. And before we jump into all these colorful characters and the awesome adventure they're about to partake or undertake, I should say, tonight, I do want to go over some quick safety tools. One of the safety tools that we'll be utilizing tonight will be lines and veils. Lines are things that will, or topics that will not be coming up during our game tonight. They may be things that exist in the real world, but for the next 3 or so, for the next 2 hours and 55 minutes, they will not be existing here at all, and they will not be coming up. Lines that we will be keeping out of this lovely game tonight will be anything to do with homophobia, transphobia, racism, abuse of young defenseless children and slash or animals, and any kind of sexual assault. Does not happen here. And veils are topics that will be existing in our world, but we will not be shedding too much light on them. And some of the veils that our players have agreed to tonight so far are going to be um, blood and gore, as well as asphyxiation or suffocation. So if those things were to happen to come up during play, we would be fading to black, but also just not going to any great amount of detail. If there are any other ones we would like to add to either one of these lists, please feel free to let me know or anyone else at the table by just, I guess we should come up with a quick little gesture. I mean, you know what? We have a lovely Discord channel that we can utilize in case anything, our attention needs to be brought over to this document so we can all be on the up and up. Does that make sense? Beautiful. The next safety tool that I love to always utilize in my tables and my games is going to be an open table policy. We are all grown adults, even though we're playing emotionally sporadic teenagers. We still have full agency over our bodies, and you do not need my permission or need me to initiate a break. If you feel like you need one, please feel free to quickly go ahead and take a break and excuse yourself and do what you got to do and come right back and join us. But I will be making sure to sprinkle in some breaks so we can quickly get up and do some stretching or get a quick bite or drink to eat. Um, so there's that. And the very last safety tool that I always like to utilize is going to be the rights to play. The rights to play is essentially a document that was created by Quinn Murphy, and it outlines the rights that everyone at this virtual table has. Um, they are going to be the right to shelter. Play is going to be dangerous for your characters, but not for any of you as players. You all have the right to build. Everyone gets a chance for meaningful contribution to the storytelling. It's the beautiful thing about Powered by the Apocalypse. You all have the right to support. That means that you have the ability to ask for help without consequence. So if anything doesn't make sense, or if you need a bit more clarification, please feel free to ask. Everyone at this table, that as far as I've role played with before, is very gracious and knowledgeable. You all have the right of representation, meaning that imagination is for everyone, and we will not exclude marginalized players just for the sake of accuracy. We all have the right of synchronicity. And that means that every player has the responsibility to move towards the stage of the story so it can progress forward. And you all have the right of spectation to spectate, meaning that if you're not at the spotlight, every player creates a story but is also a member of the audience, enjoying it as the story is being told. So that's my last safety tool. After that, I think all that's left to do is just to jump right in and start creating these beautiful characters. And for the sake of time, we've already done a lot of the fleshing out for you. So, what I would love to know is who would like to go first in introducing their character? Essentially, you're just giving us a brief, quick, speeding line of your character's name. Essentially, if you would look at the playbook sheet, I kind of just want you to go over what your hero's name is. Well, actually, we already went over that. Sorry. I would love for you to. We already went over real name and hero names. I would love for you to go over the look. Essentially, if you were describing your character on this comic book panel, what are they looking like? The lovely thing about this game as well is that it kind of gives you prompts to use if you don't already have an imagination and you've already kind of brought character photos together. So I that came off really wrong.
I was gonna say you said that with the most
Whoa.
well intentions, but you're like,
What
if you don't have an imagination,
I meant to say was, in case you are short of time and
Need
need a
help.
quick prompt. Excuse me.
Do you guys not have the translator for ADHD? Because I have it. So I have the translator. I was good. I knew what you meant. Like, you're good.
For all my non-neurospicy friends at home, I'm sorry. But anywho, I digress. Please, I would love for whoever would like to go first to please go over and detail the way their character would appear on their awesome character panel, and also kind of detail their abilities. And once we've gone over their look and their abilities, I would love if you could please go over your backstory. I'm just going to quickly, for our lovely viewers at home who may have not had a chance to play Masks. Masks is a game about young teenage superheroes who are existing in a world that's already 4 generations deep into the superheroics. Meaning, since about the early 40s, the golden era, we've already had superheroes and villains that have kind of come and gone, and essentially, you're all playing people between the ages of 13 to 17, I believe was the higher end. But essentially, they're adults in this world, and every single adult already has an opinion formed about you. So they have something called influence. And when someone has influence over your character, that means that you care what they think. And they can shift these things called labels. What are labels, you might ask? Well, labels are, for our traditional TTRPG players at home, labels are our stats. We have 5. They're going to be danger, freak, savior, superior, and mundane. Danger is when people look at you and they see that you are the toughest one in the room, that you mean business. They're going to steer clear of you. When you see yourself as a danger, that means that you see yourself as the toughest one in the room, and you'll kick anyone's butt and take anyone's name. When your character, people see you as a freak, they see you as the most out of this world thing that they've ever seen. You are standing out like a sore thumb. You see yourself as a freak when you feel like you are special and that you have abilities that only you know how to control. Savior is when people look to you as the one in the room that has the answers, the one that's going to save them. And your character sees himself as a savior when you have a bit of a martyr complex and you must save everyone no matter what the cost is. Superior is when people think that you're a bit of a know-it-all. You might be a bit full of yourself, but you see yourself as superior when you think that you have all the answers and you probably know a bit better than others. And last but not least, mundane is when people look at you and they see the neighborly child next door. You are perfectly mundane, completely just nothing is wrong with you. You're not, I wouldn't say nothing is wrong, but you are just another ordinary citizen. But you see yourself as mundane when you feel like you are in touch with your emotions and you know how to connect with other people around you, and take feelings into account. So with all of that being said, your labels will be shifting because people with influence can shift it. And you as players, if you have influence over each other, you can also shift each other's labels. And sometimes you may want to do that for other reasons. But with all that being said, I would love to know who would love to go first and introduce their character.
So, I would like to go first. And as we're getting into story and character building, I'm going to cue the intro. And we are back. So, you wish to know a little bit about my character.
Yes, I'd love to know more about Soul Warden.
So, I am Niles, Niles Rivers, and I am known as Soul Warden. I am part of a legacy known as the Children of Anubis. We fight against the forces of evil and save the human world from chaos. Now, you may be wondering a little bit about my abilities and my powers. I control the shadows. I twist and weave it like a tapestry around, painting a beautiful picture of magic and might. I can step through portals, sense things with my shadow animal companion, my falcon Horus, and I can manipulate it to my own pleasures. So, my family, the children of Anubis, are part of the Order of Mott. We've been here since, well, since the dawn of civilization, protecting you mortals. I've only lived for 17 years as I stand 6'1", muscular, but with brown eyes and dark brown skin and a buzz cut on my head. No facial hair. I was born into this. And the greatest accomplishment that my legacy, the children of Anubis, have proclaimed is that they saved the world from the Ishfet or the enclave of chaos. The public perceives us as frightening at times, as we are controllers of death and shadows, but they know that we are the heroes that protect them from those that will do them harm. And my legacy ties into me being a hero because this is what I was born into. It is my destiny. And then eventually I will rule along the side of Anubis, allowing the safe passage of those who have perished from your mortal realm. I care about my team because we are fighters, protectors. And a a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So all of us must believe in ourselves, be triumphant, and spread love around to the people we protect.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And I believe those answers all of your questions, my dear GM.
It does indeed. I think with that being said, I would love to know who would like to go next in describing their character's looks, abilities, and backstory.
Oh no, it's gonna be like that. Okay.
Who wants to follow him?
I mean, I was going to volunteer you, but I guess I'll go. Okay. Well, Titania, Moonflower, Bloom, they're a bit of an outsider. And by a bit, wildly. They come from a realm that no one here has probably ever heard of. But it is a wondrous place, magical. It is a place where shadows dance and moonlight sings to those who listen closely. But I'm sort of on a rite of passage. And to be honest, I should have already gone home by now. And my mask is not staying in place. But I'm not ready to give up exploring yet. You see, I'm supposed to go back and lead my people. But I've been so happy here and having so much fun, and when I come back, I'll never leave. Unfortunately, they're relying on me, and I'll have to make a choice soon. The person that you see is a very fluid individual. I've got to get rid of the mask. Sorry, Travis, I can't do it. Um, but they have a very flowy, wispy aesthetic. Their clothing itself moves, almost undulating, like moonlight and shadows, even within their skin, seems to, if you look at them at a different angle, it seems like they've changed shape slightly. Their clothing is sort of a plum color palette. There's bits of purple and blue, silvery colors. And all throughout this aesthetic is an intricate silvery floral design. So much so that even their partially shaved head, but not quite yet fully, as they have not completed their rite of passage. You see intricate line art of the moonflower, that it only blooms at night and only blooms on their homeland. In terms of abilities,
I feel like there's a big old asterisk at the end of that sentence, my love.
there is a big, big asterisk. The truth is,
Oh, you don't have to divulge it just yet. If you want to hold on for shock value,
oh yeah, for sure.
whatever.
That's
whatever
not coming out yet.
Okay.
But the truth is a little bit more complicated. But no one knows that yet. I really just want to tell stories and make more bonds with my friends here. Where I come from, the stories that we tell and the bonds that tie us together to community. That is a source of power, of immense power, more than people know. So, here I am.
Here you are.
I didn't super go into abilities, but I think they'll come out.
Oh, for sure. Did you feel like you were able to touch upon your backstory questions with that illustration?
I think so.
Beautiful. Perfect, my love. Awesome. Well, I cannot wait to find out more about our lovely Moonflower. Actually, Moonflower, why don't you pick who goes next?
Well, Travis made me follow Omar, so I'm gonna go with him.
Oh, thank you. I want to I want to say my piece and take my mask off too.
Look, I was
Love
about it. I brought it, but it just keeps sliding. Headset doesn't like the mask.
Right, it happens. Seraphine Blythe is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, bright-eyed, recently 13-year-old, probably the youngest of these in the group. She has a pale complexion, but rosy cheeks and glittering skin, so much so that when she walks, it is almost as if sparkles follow after her. When she flips her hair and the anime sparkles shine, that really happens for her, and others are astounded by her just bubbly aura and her luminescent presence. She is a Nova, and she is a sorceress in training. She has a sort of charmed sisters vibe and is the proud owner of the Pink Witch's Arcanonomicon. And it was given to her by her mother. Some of her abilities, which are still manifesting, are the ability to her charge her powers and then change reality around her. With a few incantations, a storm of existence can be modified. She is young and cares about her companions, so I do have a boost ability. So, with a few flicks of her wrist, some of that glitter and essence can shimmer and shine on her friends. I can also overcharge myself. When pissed off, you will see how bright I can glow. You can expect a supernova. And I do have my fourth ability, I will uh, say is I chose the moat, but we'll see if I need it. I might change it. I was thinking more of a protectress in her youth. She hasn't fully gone attack mode. She's still sort of like a defender and
Shield?
a defender, a shielder, enchanting. Because moat is like a shield for an area instead of the shield is like a defense in a moment. So
Exactly.
I thought we might need that for the situation. And my backstory questions are: when did I first use my powers? So I come from a long line of sorcerers and sorceresses and wizards and masters. My father is Mr. Weird, and my mother is the Crimson Caster, and they are superhero supremes. They are protectors of the realm and leaders in arcana and lore. And I am being raised to follow in their footsteps. And I have two older brothers that have mostly been taking the spotlight, but now it's my time to shine, and the Pink Witch is coming at it. And my powers manifested when my mother invited me into her coven and gave me my first grimoire. And when I flicked through the pages and closed the book, its name was given, and it is the Pink Witch's Arcanonomicon. The first person I accidentally hurt with my powers is myself. I want to say that I was overzealous, and because of this, when I actually have a magical circle full on multiple rings, enchanted runes, like as if it was tattooed on my back in bright pink sigils, bright pink runes. And I'm not sure if there's any effect on me right now, but I still do have full access to my powers. Outside of the team, my mother is the closest witch that I know. But perhaps there's another witch in the city, since I'm actually from. I'm visiting family and visiting friends in Metroton. No, I'm from Metroton. What are we again? What
You're in
city?
Halcyon City.
I'm visiting friends in Halcyon City, so maybe there's a witch in Halcyon City that I know that helps me control my powers while I'm here, that my mom can introduce me to. I continue to use my powers because it's been divined. I'm meant to be the next generation sorceress supreme and protector of this realm. The Pink Witch will manifest. So I must carry on. And I care about this team for similar reasons that Titania mentioned. Power and energy are powerful, and in my Arcanonomicon, they said the stronger your bonds, the more powerful you'll be. And so I need to develop my friendships, and I care about them because we've, kicked ass a few times together, and they're super cool. Who doesn't love, who doesn't love a troll and an alien and a demon from the underworld?
Oh my gosh. That was
So
so,
I feel-
reductive, my love. I love it though.
No, I really do. I think she's like the super bubble, giggly girl of the like, haha, you fuck with us, we'll kill you. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my god.
I'll write you out of reality.
I love her.
Yeah, like, don't fuck with my friends. So like, but yeah, that's Seraphine Blythe, aka Sparkle.
Love that, woo! Cannot wait to find out more about this beautiful character that is playing our younger sister. Beautiful. And last, most certainly not least.
Hey, so, I'm like Valerie Plum or whatever. Stupid. 16 years old, and so a name probably sounds familiar because my dad is Avery Plum, who was Dr. Scythe, fucking super villain jerk. I don't like him. He's in prison, and I hope he stays there forever. So when I was young, I was into like more casual stuff, like catfishing small countries and gaslighting the household staff. But now I'm into like more sophisticated pranks and stuff. I don't. People keep wanting me to do something with all of these abilities that I was born with to create illusions, to work with technology and around technology. And like I don't want to. I just want to kind of do like my own thing and help my friends. Helping my friends is great. That's a lot of fun. Um, but prior to meeting this group of people, I never really used these abilities that I've had my whole life for anything other than just really uh, kind of just worst term like this. But I care about this team because they give me a space to just work through, not a bit of like a curmudgeon. It's like it's okay that my whole thing is screwing people. Like I'm allowed to be in a complicated spot with my family heritage, with my mentor, who I'm not speaking to right now, and other stuff like speak
No, I think we
and
might have
just be, and it's
dropped.
better. So
I am so so sorry, my love.
yeah, I just this is great. I want to help them out, but like
Oh, no, I think we're back.
yeah.
Hey,
Hello,
you cut out there for a sec. We could not hear a word you said.
did I
Yeah.
disappear? Oh no, where was I when I cut out?
Um.
You went through. You said that your father, Dr. Scythe, was in prison and you hate him. You care about the team because they work through all of your shit and give you space. And then I think right around there was when it's cut out after that.
So you didn't cut out on
Oh
stream.
yeah, so it's like
You
I
cut
just
off, it seems, for everyone else in there. So apologies,
Oh.
but it was alive on stream. You can pick up
oh
from where you left off. I'm sorry.
fantastic. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, this illusion and then gadgetry and hacking are my abilities. All essentially, as I hinted earlier, if catfishing was a superhero power set. So my best stats are superior, but also mundane. So like Mountebank, my superhero identity is all to do with achieving incredible feats of deception while remaining unseen or at least unremarked. So, like, I have a mask that I wear that neutralizes my features. I have a sort of stylized jester costume, but it is all in very muted earth tones. So, like, there's a lot of the sort of flim flam to it, but it is in a very sort of dull style, and that is deliberate. It's intended that while I am the wisecracker, I am also at my best when people are just like, "Don't look at, just don't perceive me," and then I will defraud you of your nation's GDP.
Um. I will remind y'all, you are still teenagers and superheroes. So, yeah, fighting those corrupt governments and taking back Robin Hood style. Woo! But yes, um, with that being said, uh, was there anything else you wanted to add to that by any chance?
No, I think what's interesting about the delinquent build is a lot of my little maneuvers and things are kind of very situational specific things to do with sort of adding and subtracting team resources. So they're kind of noodly. I feel like we can get into them like if and when they come up.
Oh, for sure. Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad you brought it up. You know, team is a resource that basically allows you to help each other out. It's what allows you to add a +1 to a move, either you helping someone out, or sometimes you just being selfish and taking a resource from the team pool and using it for yourself. The game starts out with one team in the pool, and it's up to all of you to see how we can generate some more. And I would implore all of you to please look over each of your playbooks thing called a team move. Your team moves do not have to be triggered by a specific teammate. It can be triggered with any NPC. So they are triggered either through a triumphant celebration or through sharing a vulnerability or weakness. But I digress. I will cover that when we get into it in the fiction. Just for the sake of time, we do have a couple more things we do have to do with our characters to connect them more into the fiction, and that is going to be essentially how our team first came together. Now, this is done in a very specific order, and it's read in a very specific order as well. The very first person to actually help us bring this lovely order about when our team first came together is actually going to be our lovely Nova. So, our Nova, you're just going to read your question out loud. You're not going to answer it. It's going to be the Nova, followed by the Outsider, followed then by the Delinquent, and we're going to end with our lovely Legacy. So, you can find that question on the lovely Character Keeper on line 82. Sorry, 83.
I got it. Yeah, so when our team first came together, we destroyed the surroundings in the fight. Where was it, and what did we destroy?
Ooh. Followed by our lovely Outsider.
Double mute. All right. And line 82, you said, right? Okay.
83, yeah.
83, my bad.
You're good.
We didn't trust each other at first, but that changed. How and why?
My lovely Delinquent.
We totally broke some major rules to win the fight. What rules did we break? Whose rules were they?
And our lovely Legacy.
One moment, please,
No worries.
as I was adjusting settings. All things considered, we did well and impressed an established hero. Who was it?
Now, the person who's asking the question gets final say, so you can be as collaborative in this process as much as you'd like to be. So, from the top, and now please feel free to flesh in and color in your answer with your question, starting with our lovely Seraphine Sparkle Blythe.
So we destroyed our surroundings in the fight. Where was it, and what did we destroy? I want to say that we destroyed a pier on the beach, and we actually we're trying to shift our we got the people to leave, so we didn't harm any people except for like the villains that were there. We got them out, but when we were trying to use our powers to isolate this, I was like, I'll just get rid of this whole thing, and like reality shifted, the pier completely disappeared and like destroyed the pier and the infrastructure, just gone.
What was in its place?
A volcano.
Okay, I mean, you literally teed up Moonflower up for this freaking question.
I mean, I'm open
Moonflower.
for suggestions, but yeah, like
I love
the the Pink Witch was like, let's do this. Sparkle was just like, we are full glamour, we are full glow, and boom, the pier and these enemies disappeared, but in its place, an active volcano.
I love it. Volcano. Let's Pompeii this.
Moonflower, what was your question again, hun?
Who knows? That's crazy. I love it. My question We didn't trust each other at first, but that changed. How and why? I think I'm imagining maybe that was the first situation and I just saw chaos, uncontrolled power, needing focus, right? And I think my leadership instinct kicked in to really want to sort of cultivate, just like I would cultivate like the fields of flowers in my homeland, like cultivate each one of these people to sort of get the best out of each of them. So I don't know if everyone else started trusting me for that reason, but I think as I started seeing like each of their strengths and in a more like focused fashion, I began to trust them and rely on them.
Were you like, beep beep, get in, bitch? We got a car ride.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Okay.
you get in the moon vehicle, and you're like, you need to go do this. You need to go do this. You need to go do this.
Captain
Let's-
America did.
Yeah.
For sure. Let's paint a word picture here. Okay, the pier has blown up. Everyone's
just-
vaporized.
The pier, like all of the people were running off of the pier, and I'm
Okay.
like, I got this, like it's on fire, and I'm like, we're gonna take care of this, and it like literally just shimmers away, and then shimmers in a volcano that's like starting to erupt.
Yeah, so we're sort of in that
And then
space. I think
I'm like
I
flipping
fly
through
in.
pages.
Yeah, like my little sort of the little moonflower vehicle, which I haven't really named yet. I'm gonna call it Mooncraft. It's cute. So my little Mooncraft, like, shoo, comes in and uncamouflages and like picks y'all up, and I'm like, okay, we need to bolt because this is a volcano now. So, Moonflower does not like heat like that. That's
No.
crazy. So yeah, I think that we definitely just swoop in and pick everyone up and get out.
I would like to add that. So at this point, Soul Warden, I'm totally not a prima donna in real life. But Soul Warden didn't show up yet at all because he kind of makes this kind of, he's like edgelordy in a type of like the way he just appears with like a giant like a giant like doorway kind of opens up with the wings of horse behind him as he swoops in. But at this point, he wouldn't have shown up until like the most critical moment as he like stands. He's the protector. So at this point, I would say he's not quite there yet until whatever the biggest thing happens.
Love that.
I think then, yeah, so I like Titania or Moonflower scooping up me and maybe Mountebank. Yeah, were we doing this scheming? Were you like telling me to like just shift it? Just
I think it was one of those situations where like Valerie was really on one and gassing Sparkle up, and like
Read your question out loud.
in the heat of the moment, I lost track of the fact that your powers aren't illusion based the way mine are. And I just suggested volcano, thinking, yeah, you know, an illusory volcano that will scare people away. And then it was an actual volcano, and it's what have I done?
So Mountebank, read your question out loud, hun.
Oh, yes. We totally broke some major rules to win the fight. What rules did we break? Whose rules were they?
I think you just
I feel like, yeah,
But
this is, if nothing else, we've broken some pretty serious EPA protections.
Yeah.
If
I
nothing
think-
else.
I think with the way that you egged on our lovely Sparkle, you've broken some major magical like reality warping rules.
Ooh, yeah.
and like
So
this,
whose rules were they again?
That's
Who's the
that's
Sorceress
that's part of the
Supreme in this
question. Is
world?
who's yeah?
oh,
I think
Is there
that's
some
I
sort
think
of
you know who that
governing
is.
body?
That's
Yeah.
Crimson Caster.
I think that's the Crimson Caster and Mr.
Yeah.
Weird. They're part of the Sorceress Council.
So you've broken the Sorceress Council's rules. And what rules did you break? The reality warping rules.
I'm loving it. Adding this new fiction.
Yup.
It's
It's ruined our
crossworld
world.
fiction.
And last but certainly not least, all Anubis. I'm sorry, Soul Warden.
It's fine. I can see the resemblance. All things considered, we did well and impressed an established hero. Who was it? Since my family, the children of Anubis, watch over, we were watching. You may consider it slightly pretentious, but we were watching and seeing exactly how these young heroes would react in such a time of chaos. And then my mother, let's call her, what's a good superhero name for some theme in the Egyptian theme? We'll just
Isis.
Yes, I was gonna. No. Isis is a god that we worship. So Nefertiti, we'll say.
Okay.
My mother, Nefertiti, she looked on and said that this is the team that I have to lead, for there's dark times ahead. And that's when I kind of appeared through a doorway of death with a large falcon wings swooping in to protect them. And specifically, my question reads, all things considered, we did well and impressed Nefertiti, as she is a established, powerful hero. Same powers as mine, but a lot more powerful.
That's the one that's still active and prominent in the city?
Yes.
Awesome. And who is the second person you should have named? Are they going to be someone that's retired and quite judgmental, the next possible member of your legacy, or the greatest opponent your legacy has ever faced and is still at large?
The greatest nemesis that we've ever faced. And that is another warrior such as myself, who's the embodiment of Astfet. Their name is Chaos.
This fiction writes itself. Let's go.
Can I add to that and say that the way that we impressed Nefertiti was that you came up with the plan for us to turn this volcano into a dormant volcano, and then we were like, and then maybe it'll become a beach resort. Lose a pier, gain a beach resort. and we were able to make the volcano become dormant somehow.
Oh, for sure. That's not gonna be an active volcano by the beach. Let's keep it real. You're gonna lose real estate property. No.
We raised the property value by
Raise the
turning
property
this
value.
into a beach.
We lost the carnival pier, but you gained, Maldives style, tropical resorts.
So real quick, is Asfet a warrior of chaos or warrior and agent of chaos?
It's Asfet is the embodiment of chaos. So yes. Oh, one thing I didn't mention for my backstory that would be important, as they are the followers of Ra. In this world, Ra is, the gods are neither good or evil. It's whoever worships them and how they use the power. But the order of Ashfet, or the enclave of Ashfet, specifically worship Ra and are all about light and the direct opposite of the shadows, which is what my family, the children of Anubis, use. So it would be someone who follows that, maybe their leader, if we want to make them a high end villain, or just a normal bad guy.
Understood. All right. With that being said, I now want to just quickly and briskly jump right into the very next part of this lovely character creation process, which is going to be detailing our lovely connections to our characters. So once our team when our team first came together was answered, we now have enough fuel to understand what we think of each other. And you all have something called a relationship question. So very quickly, let's snake right back around. We just finished with you, our lovely Soul Warden. So why don't you go ahead and read your 2 relationship questions. These can be found on lines 55.
I once got caught doing something that shames the children of Anubis, and I trust someone. And with one of you, and I also trust another one of you, and told them an important secret about the children of Anubis.
any takers, or do you already have in mind people you think would fill this slot perfectly? So,
Who would be the one to shame my legacy? I'm thinking that Mountbank would shame the legacy if I'm seen dealing with her and doing delinquent things. Perhaps she
Good
convinced
call,
me.
too.
Mountebank, what did you get our poor soul warden into?
Yeah, it's funny because one of my questions is you and X pulled off an awesome, if illegal, stunt together. So I'm thinking these two things
It
are
writes
just
itself.
connected.
It
Like, you know, some one of those nights, you know, you're young, you're feeling invincible. Bragging turns into, you know, whatever the illusions and death magic equivalent of BB gun target practice is, and like then gets into more bragging, and eventually we, you know, are, you know, we didn't look. I just wanted to make the security guard think that the T-Rex had come to life. This the stealing of the entire skeleton was a sequence of events, and we brought it back. We brought it back. We put it back where we found it.
Though was missing some pieces. A fibia here, tibia there.
Finger wagging. What's your second question, my level? Who's the answer to your second question?
So,
So
the
what?
second question, but I love that with Mountebank.
Same. So basically, fill that in as well, Mountebank, because that's just chef's kiss.
You trust this person and told them an important secret of your legacy. I think, as someone who's not, I mean, everyone's not from this world, I guess.
No, I'm totally from this.
Oh, you are.
world.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. You are from this world.
That's
You're
what
just a
I was
sorcerer
gonna-
supreme.
Yeah.
Sorceress.
I was wondering because your whole deal is worshiping more of like the shadows and night, which is
Mhm.
kind of Moonflower's thing too. Like I'm powered by the moonlight, or at least that's that deep connection to the moonlight.
Oh, yes.
So yeah. I'm
And
just
the
wondering,
moon is, oh no, I was 100% because the moon is also a symbol of Anubis and something that we would worship. So I too agree on this proclamation. And this, should I say the secret out loud, or do we keep the
Oh, yeah.
secret a secret?
Oh no, out loud.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
What's the
It's
secret?
juicy.
The secret was, indeed, roles were reversed, as thousands of years ago, my family, my ancestors, brought death upon this world, while the followers of Ra brought light. It's a shame in our legacy, a time in history where the roles reversed and we caused major destruction. Think, what's a very significant, terrible time during this world's history? We'll
Great
say
floods.
great.
Yeah, pick one, right?
We'll say the Great Flood that wiped out most of humanity thousands of years ago was due to my people, and that is a shame that we carry on to this very day.
Can I add? Now, I might not reveal the secret part because you already know the secret. But I think when you shared that with me, I shared the truth about why I need to come home and what will happen if I don't. With you. So
I love
you
that.
specifically, Soul Warden knows what will happen if Moonflower doesn't go home.
But the people at large don't know, so you won't tell us just yet. Perfect.
Yeah.
Love that.
Love it.
Love that. Let's go.
And that's all for me.
Ah, love it. Gorge. All right. With that being said, Mountebank, you've already answered one of your beautiful questions. What's your first question?
My first question is, you keep trying to impress X with your antics. And I feel like Moonflower is the one that Mountebank would be interested in impressing because, like, this just, like, seems like so much more, like, put together and less uncertain. And it's, you know, in the way of, you know, like, the way you can idealize someone in your peer group who cosmetically seems to be going through less than you are. It's like you kind of idealize that quality and it turns into idealizing the person. So I think
Yeah.
like a lot of times Mountebank like will go a little like even like too far with certain bits just because she's trying to get like a particular kind of laugh out of Moonflower or trying to impress her. And since she has like actual magic and my stuff is just illusions, it's like there's some tryhardism
Yeah.
I think that happens there.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I mean, I will say, perception's reality, y'all. Moonflower, my love, please, by all means, who have you been spending so much time with?
I think
But please read that question out loud.
I know, right? I was going back and forth. I'm so sorry.
You're so good.
You've been learning about Earth by spending time with X. What's really funny, I think that Moonflower thinks that they've been learning about Earth by spending time with Mountebank. Like, I think Moonflower is like, oh, this seems like a typical teenager here. This seems I'm gonna learn about Earth and Earth people when they're teenagers.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
I'm learning like some of those cliche teenager behaviors of being like rebellious and kind of wanting to be too cool and
Too cool for school.
things, yeah, things that don't make sense to Moonflower. Because those things don't make sense. Like those behaviors, I think this is the thing. And it might be a little, I don't think that we've ever talked about it, the two of us, but I think the thing that the disconnect is that Moonflower sees those behaviors as a means to separate yourself from community, where Moonflower wants to pull community together and make it stronger, and that's like a very deep in their soul that is a drive. So the idea that Mountebank, is it Mountebank? I'm sorry, I keep saying it wrong. Is it
Yeah,
Ink
it's
or
pronounced Mountebank. Yeah,
okay,
it's
got it.
just
Okay.
like a general
So
rapscallion.
seeing you struggling, I think that's what I see. I think I see someone who's struggling and I want to learn about that because that means I can help more people later. Yeah.
Awesome.
Um the other one,
This does not have to be explicitly
okay.
romantic.
Okay.
Some of these
I
are a
was
little
hoping.
spicy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. I don't mind you flavoring it to be more platonic
Okay, cool.
or familial.
So the question is, you have a crush on X, but you keep it under wraps. I think it's less of like a romantic crush and more of an admiration and maybe something that I feel I'm missing. And
There
I
you
think
go.
for
I like
me,
that.
that would be Sparkle.
I
Yeah,
could see
like
that.
Sparkle is, well, truly, Sparkle shines.
Yes.
Sparkle, I think
The epitome of the
truly
Earthlings.
to Moonflower, I feel like Sparkle is bold and goes through life with a fearlessness and a freedom that Moonflower will never have. And I think that I admire that and I crave it a little bit.
But you
I
keep
keep
it under
it under
wraps.
wraps. I keep my cool. Yeah.
Exactly. You've been around this mud ball, couple of constellations. Beautiful. And last but speaking of sparkle, sparkle, darling.
May. My relationship questions are, and I feel like I have good ideas for these. You hang out all the time with X to blow off steam, and I feel like that quite perfectly fits with Moonflower. So she's this cool alien and just has these just otherworldly fun vibes, and I'm like, she absolutely must be a witch. She's just not shown me her grimoire. We haven't made that connection yet. So I'm thinking that maybe we might be
She's
part
join
of a
my
coven.
coven.
So like that's like Seraphine secretly thinks that, you know, we can get Titania in the coven. So I'm gonna pick Moonflower for that one. And then she got
She's
witchy
got witchy
vibes. She got
vibes.
otherworldly witchy vibes. I'm about it. And then you once hurt X when you lost control of your powers. And I think that this best makes sense with Niles. Niles was doing his sort of like, I'm the leader. We're doing this for the Order of Anubis. We are protectors. And I was like, yeah, right, glitter, boom, color blast. And he was like, and I was like, get out the way. And he was like, no. And we had a mini incident. So.
Oh, yeah. Your light powers hurt my shadows. You made my shadows retreat back, probably during one of our missions, showing you that we are like oil and water.
Yeah.
What did you cast? Like Lucid Singularity or something?
Absolutely. It was probably, yeah. So those are my two relationships.
Beautiful. And we're gonna end right with you, my love. Your influence
It
for the
where does it say whom you give influence to?
Your influence is going to.
Or I have the
be
playbook. Let me pull up the
under-
playbook itself. Your influence and demeanor is I have a happy facade or locked down. Wait, really me. Happy facade or locked down. I'm gonna say happy facade. And if that says I give influence over 3 teammates, so all 3 of you have influence over me.
Woo! Love that. And then for our lovely outsider, you have, if you're looking
Yeah.
at the lovely Discord, I
got you. I have
posted
it.
for you.
Okay. So the two
Nice.
questions, I'm hoping you can let me flavor it slightly. It's choose your demeanor either haughty or cheerful. Now, I do not think I'm better than people, so it's not that. But can I flavor cheerful just to be a little bit like, because she's not like a happy-go-lucky kind of person, but it's more of like friendly and sort of like wanting,
Curious?
curious. For sure, curious. I don't know if we can I mean, cheerful is fine, but I just don't.
I feel like as
Yeah.
long as everyone has influence over you, you can contextualize that cheerful as much
Wonderful.
as you want, my love.
Wonderful. So yeah, so everyone has influence over me.
Beautiful. But it's definitely not like you're not like a bubbly cheerful. Like that's
Yeah.
definitely more sparkly.
Yeah.
That's her department.
Cool.
But I love it. Awesome. Beautiful. And then for our lovely delinquent, do you see where yours are, or do you need me to post a few, hun? Your influence. Because Morgana, your
You're
influence
muted,
says that
babe.
you care way more than you let on. Give influence over everyone to you.
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry, I
Three-
didn't
the
realize.
three
Yes, it's all
teammates
three.
influence over you. Awesome. So please, everyone here, mark down that you also have influence over our lovely mountebank. And I believe that was our lovely legacy. Do you have your influence?
Yes. Yes, I do. You are part of this team, for better or for worse, and you care what they think. I am a leader and I must portray it that way. You all have influence against me. Or, I mean, influence over me.
Against me.
I meant to say over. Whoops. Freudian slip.
My gosh.
Are you manifesting your darkness powers already?
A little bit. Ooh.
The shadow powers are at work.
Funny. I was gonna put that in the
Love
chat
it.
too. I was like, you've gone to shadow. It's like a Spaceballs joke that you've
Alright.
gone to flat is just shadow.
And after that, after you all mark you have influence over our lovely Soul Warden, that is the end of our character creation process. You're all connected, you all know about each other, and we're ready to jump right into the game. And I know I am very ready if you all are.
Yeah, I'm good. This is
Any
exciting.
questions
No,
before we
I'll
jump in?
stumble my way through some mechanics.
Let's
This is
rock.
great.
Oh my, your camera's off.
Awesome. Beautiful. Because yeah. All joking aside, you're
That's why we're trying to be coy before Sly.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not from this plane.
But-
What is sarcasm? I have no idea.
Hello. Mountebank, can you stop hacking
Right.
our
Soul
legacy?
Warden is method.
And I returned from the shadows.
Returned.
Welcome back. All right. Well, I think that it is going to be very fitting for our lovely heroes. I believe that we are going to find you all in this lovely day, probably at Halcyon City Park. It is, I want to say, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's actually rather quiet for a weekend, especially a Saturday. You know, most people would be outside with their families, enjoying the picnics, trying to get the very last bit of this beautiful weather before it starts getting a little too cold and nippy to be outside. But it's at that very same moment as you're probably about to start digging into your delicious picnic basket and food that's been brought by all of you, that you start to see that the skies above you are swirling. Now, normally in Halcyon City, this would not be something for cause of alarm, because there's always some really random weird phenomenon going on in Halcyon City. But this swirling is something that is not only ominous, but actually rather familiar to one of you. Would my lovely Soul Warden like to make the first roll of the evening and assess the situation as the clouds are swirling ominously over Halcyon City in a formation that you know belongs to none other than the worshippers of Ra?
What do my eyes
That is going to
see?
be 2d6 plus your superior.
Well, I don't fear I'm very
I believe for my
superior.
lovely legacy.
That is a +0. So in total, that is going to be an 11. 6 and a 5.
Okay, so way to toot your own horn there.
I recognize
Would you
that.
like to read the move out loud for us, my love?
Oh, I certainly will. So, when I am assessing the situation, I get to roll with superior. On a 10 plus, I ask 2 of these questions. On a 7 to 9, I ask only 1 and take a +1 acting on the answers. What here can I use to do blank? What here is the biggest threat, the greatest danger, the most vulnerable to me, and how could I end this quickly? So for my 2 questions, I'll ask, looking up, what is the greatest danger upon this portent I see above in the clouds?
What here is in the greatest danger? As you are looking up at the clouds and your eyes then begin to look out around you, the clouds that are swirling around, that are blocking out the light, are starting to move in such a way that you can tell that right now this entire city is in danger.
No, by the throne of Anubis, there's danger afoot. For my second question, what here, could I use to put a stop to this danger that I see?
That sounds very similar to how can we best end this quickly? But if you
Yes,
think about
actually, I
context,
thought the same.
I mean, Are you trying to actually use your surroundings, or are you trying to end this effect quickly? Which one?
No, it would be how quickly, as the city is in danger. It may not actually be quickly, but I need to know how I could put a stop from the worshippers of Ra.
All right. So what? So if that was the case, if you don't want to try to end this effect quickly, then what here could you use to try and put a stop to this, or at least try to slow the effects down? You could use yourself as a bargaining chip.
Oh.
So you would know that if you have a gut feeling that this is started by the nemesis, this is basically connected to your legacy. You may want to reach out to some family if you want to get some further information, and don't forget, add a +1 if acting on this information. You're trying to
Right.
piece all the things together, and you feel like you're missing a couple pieces more.
I would like to close my eyes.
As your
and-
team sees you doing this, please
Oh, no. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
describe. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
with
please
that,
describe what's going on the fiction.
I would like to close my eyes and concentrate and try to regress my memory, or not, to reach into the powers of the gods, my ancestors. And while we go to the other heroes around, I would like to take that time to connect them and use my words of the past move, which, when I seek the guidance of one of your elders or a member of your legacy, tell them a problem I face and ask them a question about the problem. They will answer it honestly and tell me what to do, and I could take it +1 ongoing to that. If I go my own way, though, I mark a potential.
All right.
So I'll begin to channel that.
I think that as you're beginning to channel that, the fiction will slightly cut away towards the other 3 heroes that are currently enjoying their picnic. What are the 3 of you doing right now as you see your lovely team member, Soul Warden, is already quick at work? The people around you have not quite started panicking yet, because to them, this is another
I'm
Saturday
sitting.
outside.
Sarah's sitting on the edge of the blanket with her back to what's happening. Why are you channeling? It's just they said that it might rain. I don't know why you wanted a picnic today. I told you it might not be as gorgeous. What are you doing? And I like stuff the like.
Are you trying to pierce the mask as you
Yeah, like why? I want to know why he's so freaking out right now. Okay, so I guess a roll with mundane.
in between big bites of food?
I am not very
Nothing to do
mundane.
with your mundane, my love.
So that's a fail. That's a 5 minus 1, 4.
You hear me go, hush, I'm
I do want
concentrating.
to remind everyone, in Powered by the Apocalypse,
Oh, sorry.
we don't have a thing called
We
a failure.
missed.
We have a thing called a miss. And sometimes you get more than what you want when you miss. So you, my love,
I need more potato
are just
salad. I'm
chomping
hungry.
away at your food as you kind of look haphazardly over your shoulder. You're strong young witch. You know, you need your vitality. I'm gonna say this on that miss. By the way, you got a 5 minus 1. That would brought you up to
Correct.
4.
Do I mark a potential for that?
Okay. All right. I'm only reiterating that. Yes, please do. Whenever you roll a miss in this system, we reward misses because it's a moment of opportunity to learn from our mistakes. And I think that on that miss, one quick second. Is anyone else having an issue
I
with my
can hear
audio?
you.
Oh, you're a little delayed.
Can
Yeah.
anyone hear me? A little delayed.
Yeah, there's a delay. You're hearing us about 2 seconds after we say it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I definitely noticed that. Give me one quick second.
Oh, this potato salad is great, Valerie.
Seriously.
Quit eating loudly. I'm trying to reach the elders in another plane of existence. It's always with you, sir.
Um,
Do we need
Moonflower.
to be concerned?
Moonflower was listening to. I think I got hung up on the literal something underfoot, and Moonflower is like, "Hello,
Hello,
hello,"
everyone.
talking.
Can
I'm talking. Oh yeah, you're good.
can
We
everyone
can
hear
hear
me,
you.
or am I still a little
I
delayed?
can hear you.
No, I think we hear you. And I think you're good.
All
Yeah,
right,
you might
perfect.
have cut up.
Awesome. Yeah, I do see people the lips syncing up now.
Amazing.
Awesome. All right, beautiful. Thank
Oh,
you so much for letting me know, by the way. I think that on that miss, I'm going to let my lovely soul warden. You're trying to commune with your ancestors, and you just as you're trying to commune, this little bit of potato salad just falls on your cheekbone, and you wipe it away, and you quickly turn to look, and you give Seraphine such a cutting look. I'm gonna count that as a full hit on your pierce the mask against Seraphine. So please go ahead and ask Seraphine 3 questions from that lovely list.
I like take a bite and I like laugh, like scoff, and the potato salad like lands on your cheek, and I'm like,
Seraphine, how many times? What do you want me to do, Seraphine? I'm trying my best to make sure danger is put a stop, but you're here just gallivanting and eating very innocuously.
I want you to tell me what's going on. I'm younger than you, but that doesn't mean I'm not as important. You have to share when you learn what's this thing in the sky now.
Okay. What it will take for you to give me a moment to concentrate. I'm trying to piece that together now by reaching the elders.
I will give it to you
Is
freely.
that how to get your character to Brent?
Thank you. Yes. And the third question, which is one of these days you need to tell me what I can do for you to listen to me. And that was my how could I gain influence over you?
You can train with me.
Fine. But
You know I'm afraid of using my magic around you when after what happened.
I look down the scar on my arm.
The glowing glitter the glowing glitter pattern.
And I turn back and continue my communion. Everyone, be in your guard. As I said, there's an evil afoot, and I believe, Titania, that is a turn of phrase as the mortals say it, not literal.
oh, I was this whole time like I'm listening to what's happening, but Titania is also checking on any of the tiny insects, like making sure that the ants aren't. I mean, where I'm come from, sometimes they can grow as large as a tree. So I thought maybe no. Okay. But okay, so and I look up at the sky.
Were you by any chance, Moonflower, just honestly triggering your playbook move not so different after
I
all?
think so.
When you talk about your home, roll free?
Yeah, I think because I started.
Are you talking about the ants from your home
Mhm.
planet?
Wasn't that subtle? I'm really good at this, guys. Um,
You are!
yeah, talk about your
So roll me,
home.
my love,
Okay.
2d6 plus your freak.
2d6 plus free. Okay.
So that's plus 2.
Now it's plus 2 goes to the total, right? I don't add 2 more dice. Okay.
No, just plus 2 to the total, correct.
So a 6.
A 6. A 6 or below is considered a miss. But I will say this. That we have one team in the pool. Does anyone here remember the last time Moonflower spoke about those ants that were as big as a tree and wants to chip in a little bit and be like, yeah, remember the color of their like thoraxes? That's how you can be able to fictionally add team to this hit to be able to make it a hit. Bump it up from a 6 to a 7.
Or I mean, I don't mind a failure right now. I mean, a miss.
If you don't mind taking the
Thank
miss
you.
and marking potential,
Yes.
by all means.
I want you to
So
take
good,
the
so
miss
good,
because
so
it says and then
it's just semantics.
it
Yeah,
says
you inadvertently reveal more about yourself than you planned. Tell them a secret or vulnerability you haven't shared with Earthlings before now. So I'll take the miss. I think it's funny.
I like that so much more too.
Okay.
Let's do it. Mark potential though, and you mark potential here by right under your little potential marker. It's going to be where you have the sum of your labels, your 5 labels. To the right of that, you see a little potential, a little drop down marker. Right there, you go. Perfect. Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
So
take
as
it
I
away.
start talking about the ants, and before I look up, I get a little carried away, and I start talking about how I was truly concerned. No, because like we actually had it was um kind of like a when you have those big monsters that attack a city, Earth has those. Like Godzilla I've heard of, you know? Well, anyway, one of them got really, really big, and the problem is that my people are a little bit allergic to ants is the thing. So when that happened, we all had to kind of hide, and well, we couldn't go underground because they would do. So we had to go up, but we anyway, it was a whole thing. The
so
sky.
so do your celestial ants eat you? Like how are you allergic to
Well,
how are your people like endangered by them?
oh no, that was just like a short time. See,
Are you
we were
conquered
trying.
them?
Oh no, no, we had to change the fertilizer out is the thing because we were kind of using this new micronutrients mix, and so like it's so funny because like they are usually really chill and like cool, and this is the most awkward you have seen them. They start it's if you could have anxiety as hives, which is kind of a thing, that's basically what's happening to them, and they are having to remember their regal nature and just going like because we were using this new fertilizer, and then it was too good, the ants liked it too, kind of thing, and they exploded, and once we actually started to once we balanced it out, it was okay. We live in harmony with them, it's okay.
I
I try to comfort my friend here.
One quick second, my love. Before you do that, I think that we have to give you a reason to want to do that. Because of the way you just naturally described how you have these hives, they don't have to physically be appearing because you do have your lovely, I believe you mentioned that you were taking
Radical
the
shape
lovely
shifting.
radicals, yeah, the radical shapeshifting. But how would you say you're? Because in this game, we don't have hit points. We have things called nasty
Yeah.
conditions that make you feel emotional states when your character isn't feeling so hot. So as you're remembering your real upbringing and all of this, how would you say what is the most earthling emotion that's coming and bubbling up to the surface? Is it
Insecurity.
angry, afraid? Boom. Mark that insecure. As that insecurity starts to rise to the forefront, your teammates can just
Hmm.
naturally feel that on you. And I think Mountebank, you want to do something about that, didn't you? You want to comfort and support your teammate. Right? I'm seeing a frozen camera on my end.
Oh,
Everyone's gone.
Mountebank, can you hear us?
I can hear y'all.
Oh, we can hear you. Yep.
Okay.
I
We can
cannot
hear you, bro.
hear Luis. the thing keeps happening where like all of y'all are still in our little stream window. Uh, the window keeps disappearing, and when it disappears, I can no longer hear the audio. I'm not sure why, because I can see and hear everybody else.
Try refreshing Louis,
Ooh.
and see if that reestablishes your connection. Okay. All
Is
right.
that any better?
Should be
I can
good.
see everybody again.
All right, can everyone hear me
Oh
now?
no, just
Yep.
disappeared again.
Oh,
Why is this?
Is anyone else having this issue?
No, I've been hearing everyone fine.
Okay.
There
I've
you
just seen
are.
the delay with Montebic and Luis
Mm-hmm.
so far.
hmm.
Sometimes it'll sync out of sync. Like one of you'll be in frame and the other is like.
Oh no. Should we go to a quick break as we go ahead and do some technical
Yeah,
difficulties
let's
and
do a
hop back?
quick break.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we've got a nice little juncture in the fiction. We'll
Yep.
be right back
All right.
after this
We'll
commercial break.
be back, everybody. See you in a moment. Welcome back, everyone. We believe we should have all of the technical issues ironed out. We all took our little break and we're ready to dive back in. So let's remove the bookmark and continue our tale. Take it away.
Yes, when we last left off, I believe our lovely mountebank had just recognized the level of insecurity that had washed over Moonflower's face, and she was going to try and do something about that, wasn't she? Mountebank, what do you
Okay.
do?
I am going to try to comfort my friend. I can see that she is upset, and so I am going to come over, going to just sort of be in physical proximity without like making uninvited contact. And I'm just going to look her in the eyes and say, "Hey, do you remember when I told you about breathing exercises? Thing we do here on Earth. We're gonna do one right now, and I'm just gonna kind of count her through some slow breaths to sort of recenter her and bring her back to the present moment and her body and all of that."
Beautiful. Please go ahead and roll me 2d6 plus 2, which is your current label for mundane.
Right. That is
For,
going to be an 11.
Yes! Nice! Please go ahead and click on the basic moves tab in the character keeper, and it should be the third basic move on the list down from the top. Read that move out loud for us, please.
Basic moves. Oh my gracious. Ah. You said this is line what?
Line 12.
Line 12. Yes. Oh, I have
On the
line
basic
12 as
moves
my
tab?
savior stat.
On the basic moves
Oh,
tab?
I'm so sorry.
You're so good.
Yes. So when I comfort or support someone, I'm rolling with my mundane. On a hit, they hear me. They mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels if they open up to me. On
That's the
a
caveat
10
right
or
there.
more,
If they open
yeah.
up to you. So, before you finish the rest of that line, my love, I need to hear in the fiction, how does Moonflower open up and reciprocate when you look in her eyes and say what you just said? What do you do, Moonflower?
I think as we connect, it's really hard at first. And I'm feeling this dissonant, this strange chaos above me, and I feel really disconnected. And you bring me in to a moment of genuine connection, which is rare for Mountebank. And being that that's so strong for Moonflower, I think you see sort of some of the wisps around her, like their clothing and even in her hair, begin to move and undulate and open up the way that a moonflower would bloom in moonlight.
Sounds like opening up to me. What do you think, Mountebank?
I
You get the
think so.
final say.
I think so too.
I think
I
so.
think Mountebank sees that and is just, rather than giving into the intense temptation to like do a bit or a joke or something, all with the intention of like lightening the mood and making the person laugh. But rather than giving into that bit reflex, she's just going to continue to hold space for her friend, and like not do shtick on top of it.
I love that.
That's beautiful. So, real quick, Moonflower, you have an option, my love. You on a hit, which happened. You can either mark potential, clear condition, or shift your own labels, as you have a new opinion about yourself. Which do you choose?
I think now, but okay, marking. I think maybe marking potential feels right
I think so
because
too.
I feel like what, at least representatively for for this moment, it feels like when you plant a seed and wait for something to grow. This is a moment of growth for Mountebank, and like she shared that with me.
You've put you've put that term potential in a whole new light for me. Thank you. Um, That's beautiful. But now, please finish the rest of that line of that move, Mountebank, on a 10 plus.
Yes, on a 10 plus, I can also add a team to the pool or clear a condition on yourself. And as I do not currently, at least not that I'm aware of, have any conditions on myself, I'm going to add a team to our pool.
And contextually, that just represents how you're exhibiting camaraderie, and now you have an extra bonus in there for you to help each other out. And as all this beautiful, touching moment is happening, we just hear the masticating, the chewing sounds. You think that Sparkle had her own ASMR channel right now, the way she's eating. Sparkle, real quick before we cut away, before we cut back to our lovely legacy, Sparkle, I want to give you another chance, girl. What are you doing besides eating?
Okay, so after I had this like reality check from Soul Warden, and we see that like it is real time, I would actually pull out the Pink Witch's Arcane Nomicon and start to charge up, if possible, and at least
Please
prepare
do.
prepare myself.
Now, you must describe for our lovely comic book readers what this looks like on this comic book panel. Full page, splash art. Take it away.
Okay. So you see.
Oh, but first, actually, I'm sorry. Before I actually ask that, why don't you go ahead and roll me a flat 2d6 since you have no conditions to help add? As you can see right now, the Novas, that one playbook,
Oh, yes.
actually benefits from emotional trauma.
Currently, I have none. So I need to use my good dice because I want to roll high.
Please use whatever dice.
I have these beautiful pretty dice that I bought, but they roll like shit. So I need to use my rose dice. My rose dice never fucks me.
There you go.
I love that.
Let's go.
Oh, she did me good. So that's 7.
Okay. Well, my love, on a 7 to 9, you know that you're about to charge up. But before you describe exactly how this awesome power manifests, on a 7 to 9, you must mark a condition, though. So how are you feeling before this power manifests?
I think that Sparkle is, she's starting to feel, I kind of want to say guilty because she like wasn't taking it seriously in this moment. So I feel like was letting the team down. Like I'm a superhero, I should be more serious.
Can I contextualize that?
Sure.
You're
Either
letting
that, I was
yourself
thinking,
down
and letting myself down.
because
Yeah.
your parents are like, you're thinking about your mom and dad. Like, am I acting like Julian or am I acting like...
Right. Am I acting like Julian or am I acting like Max?
I love you.
Right. Yeah. And that hurts because Max is my character.
I know, and I love you. But yes. Yeah. So you feel guilty. Okay. But please take it away with this awesome power.
So you see, Seraphine actually, she always has this book with her, or if it's not out, she can manifest it in a moment. So you see, she like wipes the potato salad, puts the plate down, and almost like touching runes in the air, like the north, south, east, and west calling of the calling, and these lines, these pink lines form, and I reach my hand into a pocket space and pull out the pink witch's Arcanomicon, and I flip. You hear the pages flutter. As it opens the page, I slam the book down, and it opens, and you can see that a magic circle spills out, like in full anime style. The concentric rings that are overlapping the vibe. It encases our group as well. By blush of dawn and twilight's gleam, through pink-hued light, I stroke the steam. Magic rise and powers surge. With glowing forces, let chaos magic merge. In radiant pink, I stand supreme. Now overcharge, ignite this dream. And I stand up and sort of Sailor Moon style, the magic circle encases me, and I'm full like a typical like black mage from Final Fantasy, but like pink theme, pink hat, pink robe, pink staff, pink glitter, and sort of like you see like the brim, like the hat flaps back, and you see like a bright giggly smile, and king. Uh,
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
So cute.
Oh my God, that's what I say because we just watched the movie. Hi, Barbie.
That's amazing. Oh,
Oh no, I hear him talking, but I don't hear him. Or I see his lips moving, but I don't hear him.
yeah, same. Oh, wait, maybe he's just muted.
Please tell me you're muted. It's not-
Oh.
Oh no.
This is the thing I had earlier.
It was just too powerful.
The power up was too powerful.
The power up was too much. I hope you all saw that with me.
I saw that with. I
was
felt that
in
with
it.
you.
Full
Like
on.
my character's genre changed. It was so cool. I was like, wait, what film am I in? What is this?
Full on this moment.
I gotta
posted a
adjust this.
GIF in
This
the
is
chat.
crazy. I'm so off screen. I apologize to
All right.
everyone.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I was blown away.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Basically, I was asking. I know you literally saw my lips move, but you can hear anything. That was phenomenal. But were you trying? So part of this mechanic lets you mark burn, which you can use on your flares. Were you trying to use a burn right there, or were you just flavoring the way that you're over, like the way you charged up your burn looked like?
I was just charging up my burns to
Awesome.
prepare in case we needed to, because I know it says it lasts for a scene. I was hoping that this would be for
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing that's coming.
Awesome sauce. Perfect. So as that awesome thing happens and the hat flaps back, and you're like, "Hey, Barbie!" At that very moment, we instantly cut over to our lovely Soul Warden, as you were about to roll me for that move. I believe it was.
Oh yes, yes. I
Your lovely playbook.
remember.
Believe it was Words of the Past.
Yes, it was.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not a roll. That's just asking.
Ah,
It's just, yeah.
even better.
Even better. All right, so please let's roleplay this. Who exactly are you attuning with at this moment?
I am in tuning with the goddess Bast. I wish to invoke her wisdom as I reach beyond. As I close my eyes and regress inward, darkness surrounds me. Sound is yet to appear as just silence. In front of me in this darkness, there are flames, dark flames that flicker with purple, a ghastly hue of chthonic origin, as appearing up is a large door with a symbol of death. 50 foot tall, it opens up, and stepping through, you see a very large woman with a cat-like head, with eyes that strike with opalescence as she stares down in her Egyptian clothing. And I look up to her. Great Bast, I come upon to thee, and I look for your wisdom. I sense an ancient evil of the origin of our eternal struggle. Am I ready? What can we do to stop this threat?
She would say, "My beloved child, feel the warmth of the sun upon your skin. For it is I who blesses you with light and joy. You seek my guidance, and I am here. The shadows that you fear linger at the edges of your heart. Go forward. Face those fears. Bast is basically telling you that she wants you to let this happen. Because this is a trial and a test. And if you are truly one of her future ascendants, then you should be able to face this and not cause shame to your legacy. You know what the move says. If you follow, I'm sorry. They will answer it honestly and tell you what to do. Take +1 ongoing if you listen. If you go your own way, you may mark potential. What do you do as you hear Bast tell you to not intervene with what's happening? To face this trial head on.
By looking inside, Niles did not think that this choice would be given to him, and he feels a heavy burden to let the followers of Ra, to let it fall into chaos, the Asfet. That is what you wish, O great goddess? Then I shall obey, and let whatever descends upon Halcyon City come into fruition. But mark my words, me and my team will be able to dispatch and survive this trial. I proclaim it in the name of Anubis. Bring your challenge. And he stands up and just stares at her, no longer bowing.
To be clear, is this all stuff we see? Or is that in your communion? That's it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I think that upon you saying that, I think that what she is going to say is, I bless you with protection as a mother cat guards her young. May my spirit be your shield against negativity and harm, guiding you through life's challenges. And that is me fictionally giving you that +1 ongoing for following through. So, with that being said, I would like to know, at this very moment, as the clouds are swirling and Soul Warden comes to, were your eyes like closed or clouded over?
Actually, they were clouded over with black shadows, and coming out of my eyes, what you didn't notice was that Horus, the shadow that I control, became a blob form and now is formed back into a falcon on my shoulder.
Your eyes begin to clear at this point in time, and your teammates can all see this. And as you all look up, the clouds, this music is like so on point. The clouds are all
So perfect.
swirling. The sun is now covered, and everything around you in Halcyon City has now been warped. For some of you, warping reality is something that you've done yourselves in the past. But on this grand of a scale, this is no ordinary magic. No. This is akin to... I mean, I don't think I would consider Ra, the followers of Ra, eldritch. Or would you?
I would say yes. They are the files of Ra, but they delve into chaos. So I would say they would be eldritch like.
Yeah. This is steeped in deep eldritch power. This is the kind of stuff that your parents usually deal with. Not even Julian has dealt with something of this scale. So, if anything, this might be an opportunity to show your brothers up. But as that does flicker to your mind, it is quickly brought to the background as you are now reminded with what's at stake. The citizens of Halcyon City have been warped. They are no longer your loving, happy, go lucky citizens. Their flesh has now been warped and mutated, and they now resemble vestiges of what you'd find inside of a horror book. Parents that were just sitting down enjoying a picnic with their children have just been, their bodies have just been suffused, and what was once a human male is now looking like a very poorly and ripped apart scarecrow. And as the head starts to turn towards you, you see that the other children that were just there are now what looks to be pumpkin patches that have this foul smell coming from them. And then as you look around you, the ground is also now been carved away, and there's these large crevices, and what was once Halcyon City is now perpetually changed, and the light that was just above you is now perpetual darkness. What was a moon has now been clouded over, and that has certain implications for some of our heroes. What do you all do as you try to gain your bearings in this new nightmare?
I've just calmed down. I just did the deep breathing. And it goes dark. I have never been in complete darkness. It is my greatest fear to not have access to the moon, to any moon, wherever I may be. This could not be more horrifying. No amount of breathing exercises will calm me, but it's a quiet fear, and I think I'm going to take the afraid condition. I think at this moment it is very internal. Like I'm locked in myself right now.
As that fear slowly emanating inside of you, I think it's at that moment that we're going to hear this just distorted laughter bellowing in the wind. And the sound is coming from what was once Halcyon City proper. Because you're at the park. I'm feeling like town, like the main like town square is where like this loud cackling laughter is coming from. What do you all do?
Am I able to contact my people?
How do you try to contact your people?
I don't know if this is because don't I belong? No, wait, hold on. I think I'm getting the mechanics wrong anyway. But
Talk to me.
I think I'm going very inward, and it's almost going into a meditative stance where I am just trying to reach out mentally to my people, because I think the biggest fear is that I can't reach them.
Okay, now the playbook moves that you have Kirby Craft, not so different after all, and alien tech. I think you took belonging to one.
I know, I was just looking at it. I was like, that's not what I took. But I think if I have, this is crazy.
Talk to me.
I'm gonna reach over and see if do I have like a cell phone or like some kind of like electronic device within reach?
I like to think that nothing on your bodies was taken from you. And I like
Okay.
to think that you've been on Earth for a long
Long
enough time
enough.
to,
Okay.
I mean, especially since you spent a lot of time with Mountebank, pretty sure they maybe have
Yeah.
borrowed a phone for you by now.
Oops. Okay. So in that case, let's play with alien tech here. I'm going to try to modify it, and we're still going with that fiction of like reaching out mentally in my connection to my home, but I'm literally like enveloping the phone or whatever, like the phone in my sort of wispy shadows and like silvery tendrils. I am trying to infuse it with my energy.
Oh, for sure. And by the way, why don't you read this move out loud?
Okay. When you alter a human device with your alien technology, roll plus freak. On a hit, you create a device that can do something impossible once and then fizzle. When you roll a 10 plus, choose one. If it works exceptionally well, or you get an additional use out of it. On a
So
miss, the device works.
stop right there,
Go
because
ahead.
I like to keep the on a miss if it actually
Oh, yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah,
Otherwise,
perfect.
we just keep it going copacetic. So
You got it.
something impossible, you get that totally is within parameters of you reaching out to your family in your home world. So heck yeah. Roll
Okay.
me a lovely 2d6 plus your freak, which is a +2.
I think I'm using my little chaos star dice for this, and
Nice.
a flower dice. So let's do it.
Beautiful. Very on brand.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hold on. 11 plus 2. 13.
Woo! Kapow is what you mean to say.
Kapow!
So, yeah, I think you just told me straight up you wanted to reach out to your planet, your home people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on a 10 plus, please also choose one. Do you want to be able to reach out to them and have like super duper crystal clear communication, or do you want another chance to quote unquote phone a friend?
Go big or go home. One time. One and done.
One, let's go. Let's go, baby. So you're gonna get a crystal clear, like bells and whistles, everything. Let's go. Talk to me, hun. How, what does this look like? Who do you reach out to? Because it works exceptionally well. So whoever you're trying to reach out to, you get right on that connection with them. Who is it?
I think I am reaching out to my father. And
Now,
go ahead.
what kind of status does your father hold on your home planet? Paint us a picture.
We don't. It would sort of be like the Earth equivalent of a king. Doesn't rule the entire planet, but our community
Just a kingdom.
where we live, a kingdom. And it's
A
gonna be
small
on the
hamlet.
nose. Moonflower Kingdom. We're
The
on the
Moonflower
nose.
Kingdom.
Okay.
I love it.
Mostly because I don't have time to think of a new name. So now I reach out to my father because I'm afraid to reach out to my mother. I have to replace her. So we have some tension there. I reach out to my father. Something is happening. I'm in total darkness. I don't know what's happening, but everything's been transformed and I can't access my powers. My ship won't work. Who am I if I can't? What do I do? If you help, I will come home. After this mission, I'll come home.
Moonflower, no, you said you didn't want to
When you
yet.
say that, I'll come home. After this mission, I'll come home. You hear a deep sigh. That's all that I wanted to hear. Moonbud.
Please help.
All right. You may think that you don't have access to your powers because you relied upon the moon to give you your energy. But you are royalty. We have access to more than just that. If you reach deep tell. You can overcome any obstacle. We've raised you to become impervious. All you have to do is just believe. I believe in you, Moonbud. I will
Thank you,
be
Papa.
there if you need me.
I
As he
think.
says that, he is shifting your labels.
Oh,
He is shifting your... He's shifting your savior up. He is shifting your mundane down. Will you accept
right.
this label shift, or are you ready
Yes.
to reject his influence? Yes?
I accept it.
Beautiful. Awesome. So yeah, so shift that lovely savior up and your mundane down.
Incredible. I'm listening to him and it's calming me. And I hold, my posture becomes more regal. And with a resolute sigh, I'll see you soon. I have to do this myself. You've shown me that. I have to be able to lead. Thank you for answering. And give Mom my love.
As you say that, give Mom my love, I think it is going to be at that moment when he says, no, you can tell her yourself when you come back. And he is going to go ahead and give you access to your playbook move Belong in Two Worlds as he ends the connection with you.
Oh man.
Oh,
So you
snap!
now have the resources that come with your station, future queen of the Moonflower Kingdom. And whenever you contact your people, you know what to do. So,
That is so killer.
as that scene unfolds and you're having that moment with your father, I just needed to know, because this scene is quickly and rapidly about to shift, and even though you hear that cackling, bellowing coming from the city proper, what was once the city proper, you actually are about to be lunged at by some very angry and ravaged looking individuals that are just completely monsters, like the monstrosities. One of them is that half stuffed scarecrow, and the other monstrosity looks to be like a half mummified individual with just sharp bladed fingers. They're about to slash down at you. What do you do, Sparkle?
So I actually would like to rewind just like half a second before that. Like I see them approaching, and Moonflower's having her existential moment. Montbank is like preparing or looking around. Soul Warden's just finished his thing. So I'm like, I need to make sure. And there's now zombies and monsters around us. So in my full witch garb, she holds her hand out and like her fingernails, ding, 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 like constellations, circle bright and rosy light. By witch's wheel, I'll shield this fight. I with the threads pink ward I weave. None shall pass and none shall leave. Shimmering walls of pure magic. My moat, you're safe, you're secure. Or in my moat, you're safe and secure. And like threads from my fingers, I sort of like weave this like pink net around us, and it's really creating an arcane wall. And that I'd like to use my moat ability. My Nova Mode. Spend one of my burn to create a barrier that will hold back threats for as long as you keep attention on it. And the GM may call for you to spend another burn if the barrier is threatened by particular powerful enemies. So as this like pink wall, ethereal with runes, start to stretch out around us, forming like this like bubble, I'll look to Montbank and Soul Ward, and I'll be like, we need a plan.
you say that, we need a plan. And at first, your shimmering moat that is like has like this protective bubble over you and your teammates. At first, you have enough mental fortitude to keep it up, no problem, as the creatures are attacking it. But then you start to feel that from behind, because I think that there's like a circumference to your cone, like your bubble. You realize that there are things coming out of the ground that are now attacking your shield. Please do me a favor. Mark one more burn unless the shield goes down. The moat.
You. I'll spend the other burn. So now I have one left. I'll use two, and in this moment, I'd like to say that you're in my domain, and the sphere pushes out to the ground, and I sort of like levitate us up and create a full circle completely around us, and now we're sort of levitating, encapsulated.
Cool. Is that by any chance you trying to utilize one of your last burns, like overcharge? Because you have one burn left, right, my love?
Yeah, I would like to save that one burn.
The thing is that the scene's about to change, so you gotta use it or lose it.
Oh, use it or lose it. Okay,
so as a Nova, you're actually pushed to mark conditions and to keep abusing your charge.
Got it.
Yeah.
In this, I'm going to say actually, instead of holding the moat back, I'll use, because then I'll keep that. I'll have two, and I'll use the 2 burn to use the overcharge. Channel the full capacity of your incredible powers to overcome an obstacle, reshape environment, or extend your senses. And I will say the shield's coming down, and you see this sort of like pink, like as if the bubble like was popped, and there's just like pink glitter just sort of like shimmering around all of us. And I said, no, I need that. And you see me just sort of like swirl my hands, and I pull the like glitter together and overcharge, and use that to sort of, I would like to say, to overcome an obstacle by causing us to become temporarily like invisible. Like it falls on us like fairy dust and causes us to shimmer from the visage of the monsters in this space, even if just temporarily.
The exact opposite of fairy fire.
The exact opposite of fairy fire, thank you.
Love it. That happens, my love. And that, I was thinking like, oh, you're trying to reshape your environment? No, you're overcoming an obstacle by becoming invisible. And you just have mere moments to run. What do you all do as you have moments to act as you're all invisible right now and that shield is gone? I want to hear from people who haven't heard from just yet. I'm thinking Mountebank. I'm thinking my lovely Legacy, my Soul Warden. What are y'all cooking up?
I'd like to assess the situation.
Please do,
I think,
because you have a chance to do this
I think,
right now.
yeah, for better or for worse, Valerie's father's voice is echoing in her head. He very much intended for her to supervillain right along with him, and had all sorts of advice on chaos being a source of opportunity. So this is certainly chaos, and she's going to try and reestablish her sense of scene here. What am I rolling plus?
You're rolling plus superior, so +2.
Superior. Fantastic. That is going to be... as a 9.
Awesome. And you also have the awesome delinquent move called Criminal Mind.
Yes.
When you assess the situation, you can always ask one of the following questions, even on a miss. So that means on a 9, you only get to ask 1, but that means that you get to ask me 2 questions. 1 from this list, and then 1 from the assess situation list.
Cool. I think my first question is going to be like, what here is useful or valuable to me? I get the sense we're about to book it, and I just want to see if, as we have plane shifted or whatever weirdness is happening right now, is there anything that has changed in some way in our part of our picnic or something in the park that I can take with us that might be handy further on down the road?
Okay, so the first question was, what here is useful or valuable to me?
Yes.
And then what was your second question?
The second question is, how could we best end this quickly? I guess this is a big picture kind of question. I'm not expecting to be able to assess the source of all of this right away. But
Essentially, are you so? Assess the situation is very contextual, and I'm thinking that you're thinking about the situation right now with the monsters around you.
Yeah, it's like, is this a situation where we could just run, or do I need to, like, do something gadgety, like a flashbang or something to create cover? Like, can we just book it? Like, how do we get out of here?
Exactly.
Like, do we
Right
fight
now.
or flight? Yeah.
Exactly. And you know right now, flight. So
Cool,
you would
cool.
know that the best way out of this situation is cause illusions. Because you know that whatever little magic just fell on you from thanks to your lovely sparkle, it's not gonna last long. But you know what will last a little bit longer? Maybe some of your illusions. Because these creatures are not smart, intelligent. You don't consider them like super duper intellectual opponents. You consider them someone that can probably be fooled by some very easy illusions and trickery. So this is right up your alley. So what I'm gonna say is, use your abilities. Use what you've got. Unleash your powers. Maybe create some mirror images of yourself. I don't know. You tell me.
I like
add +1 because you're acting on this information. And also, I'm sorry,
cool.
but that was answering your second question. Your first question was, what here is useful or valuable to you? As you are looking around, sadly, that cellular device that our lovely Moonflower is using just instantly burns up and sizzles and falls into the sky. But you will notice that as you're about to make your way out of here, these people that were warped by this eldritch magic, they still had things on them. Only their bodies were warped, not their clothing. So they still have items on them. And just as quickly as you saw that one device that was just burnt up by our lovely Moonflower, someone drops another cellular device. And you're like, well, if Moonflower can do crazy wild, like what she just did, maybe they can do something else that's really useful and helpful with this. So you just instantly spot that phone, and you know for a fact, whoever this zombified individual is, they're not going to be missing that phone. So snatching it might be one of the most useful things in this surrounding right now.
Cool. Well, I will definitely grab that up and start cooking up some kind of illusion to give us some cover. And I look at Sparkle, who has just asked us for a plan, and I say, I have a plan. We run. We run now. We run fast.
Unleash your powers, my love. And that's going to be rolling with your
All
freak.
right.
And your freak is at a 0.
Cool.
So flat 2d6.
Yes.
But we have 2 team in the pool.
All right. That's a 10 on the dice.
Forget the team. On a full hit, which is a 10, it just happens. Describe for me in the fiction, what do you do with your illusions to create enough of a diversion to give you and your teammates enough time to get out of here, no problems? What do you do?
This is one of those moments where all of Valerie's BS kind of falls away as part of the reason she likes this group of people. And instead of just the sort of angst-ridden teen dilemma between, oh, my illusions, oh, my tech, support and fraud and that, like, she's just in instinct mode. And the instinct is protect the people that I care about. And so she sort of reaches into a place of, like, both. She grabs this cell phone up. She's getting it into, like, a little satchel of stuff, and she has a sort of they look almost like brass knuckles, but it's just a set of like just various small like LEDs and things, and it's just to create a series of bright flashes and whatnot, and that sort of segues into an illusion of the 4 of us, just the exact same as we were standing, just sort of standing there gormless and shocked in that sort of I'm a person in a horror movie, and I have fallen down on the ground, and so now have no human instincts but to look back in terror at my encroaching doom. So that sort of expression on all of our faces, while the rest of us, I'm just sort of like extending that that vague invisibility that Sparkle was able to put on us and do effectively like a bait and switch for fake versions of us while we go be somewhere else.
We all scuttle away invisibly.
As you, well, I'd like to think as your well, actually, your invisibility falls away, and it's thanks to our lovely illusions that you're able to get out of here with no qualms, no problems. And I'm assuming you're moving towards where that laughter was coming from, the town square. Because, obviously, because we gotta move this fiction forward, people. Let's go. As you are moving in that direction, though, you will notice that there's almost this like actually, Soul Warden, why don't you describe Bast's protection? What does it look like? How does it manifest on your body?
You see, as I witness the horrors, but with a deep sense of conviction in my heart, around me there is an overlay, a shape of what looks to be a feline, a sort of panther-like shadow around me. It becomes thick and is a shell. My features change slightly to that of a cat. My hands become blackened with fur, and sharp nails pop out as my eyes go cat-like and fangs appear as she envelops me in her wisdom. As I look back and say, yes, we shall progress further. There's nothing but death for us here. And I would like
to support anybody or engage with one of your team moves.
I would say I would like to, as we are running away, to help us run away, unleash my powers. And specifically, I have the power of shadow portals. And I would like to see if I can, almost like Doctor Strange, like it will probably take us a while to reach it because I have to charge, so we run until it completes. Make us a way to get further into the city, away from this area, and do that by unleashing my powers.
No, most definitely. You would most certainly be able to reshape your environment with that. Heck yeah, roll me 2d6 plus your freak, boo. Okay. And for our lovely Soul Warden, you have a freak of 0.
I know.
So flat 2d6, my love.
And you all can definitely aid me if needed. I'm sure we have 2 team in that pool.
Yes.
We do have 2 team, baby.
That is a 6. Who would like to
Let's
aid?
use that
word of
team.
Encouragement. Talk to me, who?
For sure.
Sparkle? Are you doing it? Or
I mean, you're. I really feel like you have the moon magic. Go ahead.
The moon thing.
Yeah. I feel like it's time for Moonflower to come out of her shell.
Right. Yeah. Like
Come on.
I've just had this intense conversation with my father, and it's very much a coming of age moment. And I see the Soul Warden stepping into his power and forming these shadowy portals, and I keep seeing them flicker. Like they're not solid. They're moving, and they look like they're unstable. And I'm seeing him like, oh no, okay. So as I did with the
I'm tapped, girl, help him.
I know, right? As I did with the phone, I reach into one of the portals and I grab his hand, one of his hands, if he'll let me. Yes. I reach out, like, and offer my hand.
Yes.
I grasp your hand and start channeling my silvery, tenderly moonlight into you.
Down to just 1 team, as that makes this a hit. And on a 7 to 9, my love, you can either choose to mark a condition and make it a full hit, or I can tell you how it's either temporary or unstable. Which do you choose? How moved are you by this act of...
And I think there's a visual effect. Like you see, not just feeling the energy, you see some of the energy coming from me that literally looks like it's weakening some of my shadowy wispiness that was flying off of me and going into you. So you see it's like true, like I'm literally giving you my energy.
Royal energy as well, might I add.
Royal.
Bring it home. Drive it home.
Never let you forget.
As I try to have this portal open up, self doubt comes over me as I feel nothing but ashamed. I feel just a former shell of what I'm self. This is exactly what Bass told me I was supposed to do, and I'm already failing the beginning of this trial. And I feel insecure as I move my hands uh into some somatic components, insignias of the runes. And as I reach over and see my ally of the moon with her regal presence, I reach over, grasping her hand without a word, channeling that energy. And the amorphic bubble that was the shadows that protrude out of the earth. Anywhere there's a shadow, it fuses all together, placing into one amorphous doorway, the doorway of death itself. Come, I can't hold it for that much longer. We have to go now. As I take the insecure condition to have this complete.
As you do that, that door of death creaks open slowly. As you all walk through the threshold, you find yourself that this realm is where chaos reigns supreme. You're going to find yourselves ensnared in what seems to be a nightmarish landscape that's been crafted by none other than Asfen, the embodiment of chaos. And what you find in front of you is going to be this grinning jack-o'-lantern head and a swirling ethereal form. It's thriving on unpredictability and psychological torment. Asfen is a powerful and capricious being, the embodiment of pure chaos. Right now, it is going to essentially just turn to look at all of you. And then once it falls on you, the last one, Soul Warden, it lets out that same exact bellowing laughter that you all heard moments before a deep rumbling tone settles in its disembodied voice now lets out. It says, "Do you wish to go home, mortals? Because if you do, this will be a trial of terrors." What do you do?
Continue to book it, regroup.
I mean, are you trying to escape actively right now?
Can you
I
can I ask for clarity first?
Yeah.
So we came through the portal, and that brought us to this town square and sort of dumped us into this space where now we see this pumpkin head that addressed us directly.
So basically, it going through that as opposed to you just running from the park area towards the direction of this laughter, going through that death's door, the portal, the shadow portal, it literally brought you right to the doorstep of your antagonist, and literally like opened up portal. You stepped right through. About 10 or so feet away in front of you is this individual.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Then not book it. I jump in front of the team, holding steadfast in a very bold and triumphant pose to make sure they're behind me, protected from any danger that might come upon them.
And I think in the moment that the question was posed to us, because I imagine this is all happening simultaneously. Moonflower didn't pull away, didn't like shy away. In that sort of ultimatum, leaving no other options, she knows that's not how things go. You can make your own choice. And I just stand regally as I have seen my mother and father do, leading people and facing great dangers, including giant ants. Um, and I think in this moment, gotta tie it back.
I love it.
Um, I I want to unleash my powers. I want to reshape the environment if I can. I already, so I'm trying to figure out how this works, but I'll just kind of tell you narratively what I want to happen, and maybe you can help me navigate mechanics.
Mhm.
So, narratively, what I'm looking for, I want to kind of dig into like the earth. Is there ground? Are we on the ground like earth?
Oh yeah, it's Earth.
Okay, I want to dig into it and pull the nutrients of like the earth and reshape literally the ground beneath us to put us in a more advantageous, almost like creating cover, creating different like ways for us to sort of navigate. I can fly, but everybody can't fly. So I'm kind of just trying to give us a better battlefield. Um, I know I had that outsider belong in both worlds, and I thought that would be cool, but I don't know if I can do that right now.
So
Like to call them down to like, oh, it's war? Let's go.
that's more of your moment of truth.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, your moment of truth is pretty badass in that sense.
Oh my
And
gosh.
you kind of teed it up to happen in a
Okay,
way.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
All you gotta do is just get the last couple more points of potential, and it's all yours. Um, but as you try to do this, I was hoping to have some reality warpers, and I was
Mm.
blessed with two. So
Cause the whole radical shape shifting, like I want my body to transform to be like stronger and taller. I want to reshape the land. Yeah, it's all physical manifestations.
so the radical shapeshifting I will say is more so like your body.
My
Like
body. Okay,
yeah, that like your
got it.
abilities to radically shapeshift. Like think of like Ms. Martian.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay,
Yeah. But that's not to say that you can't use your abilities to try and reshape like the ground beneath you and the earth.
great.
Because you could totally try to do that with your heliokinesis and your shadowy tendrils. Um, but as you are attempting to do something like that, you are going to see that this atmosphere is thick with swirling shadows and vibrant chaos. The landscape will shift unpredictably, reflecting the turmoil around you. As you are trying to do this, you're going to hear Asphet let out this bemused chuckle. Ah, a young one from another realm, trying to bend the very fabric of chaos to your will. How delightful. He's going to appear, swirling figure of flickering light and shadow, the grin spreading across his jack-o'-lantern face. And he's going to let out this kind of like ominous whisper as he is now appearing right beside you. You think you can reshape this nightmarish realm, do you? How charmingly naive. Chaos does not yield to mere desire. It revels in unpredictability. And you're going to see that with a flourish. Asphet gestures around him, and the environment shifts dramatically. What looks like the tips of mountains begin to form into swirling mists, and the ground trembles underfoot.
Oh,
As
he can summon mountains, but I can't.
I said, the tips of mountains begin to erupt And as this happens, you're going to see that this was basically what looks to be almost like a diversion.
Mhm.
Because as you were like getting antagonistic with our lovely Asfet, the mountains that are starting to rise are starting to obscure your view of him. And
Mhm.
I need to know who's pursuing after our lovely Asfet.
And
Hmm.
then can I just ask also, does that
Yes.
count as a foolhardy action that could clear an insecure condition?
So it has to be a foolhardy action without talking to your team. So
I
it's not so
mean,
much like something that's like, oh, I'm just being a little reckless. It's almost to the detriment of your team.
got it.
You
Okay.
got to be that reckless.
Okay. Okay.
Essentially,
Okay.
you weren't trying to be reckless. You were trying to be like, formidable. And I
Yeah.
completely give you granted. But I think right now what you're going to notice is that in the setup, there's a couple of things that have to happen before you can get what you want. So
Totally.
as his view is becoming like um, covered by these tips of the mountains coming up, who is giving chase after our lovely Asfet?
I would say
Mountebank,
this.
Soul Warden.
Oh,
I,
not Sparkle. She needs to charge up. She needs to charge up.
I would say that Soul Warden, seeing the epitome of his life's purpose to defeat this order, and feeling extremely insecure for not being able to summon the shadows, what he was born to do, he will do a foolhardy, I would say, hopefully, action and run just directly at him alone not even looking at the team, which he normally would stay and protect. He is now being on the offensive.
Can I make a better suggestion?
Oh,
You don't run forward. You try to create another shadow portal to go right in front of them. Just try to cut them
uh,
off.
sure. I tried to use the
That's
power of
it.
the
Expedite it.
shadows to just get directly behind him to capture him, uh, being far away from my or no, just far enough away from my team where I'm kind of isolated.
Oh yes, my love. You most certainly are taking a foolhardy action without talking to your team. Because I'm assuming before you like enter your little shadow portal, this would have been the perfect moment to be like, all right, team, here's the plan. Because you always try to insert yourself as the leader. You
Mhm,
do no such thing. You
mhm.
just go right for the direct. And yes, at the end of the scene, please clear insecure, because as you do that, I would also love to know, my lovely Mountebank, how do you give chase as you see your lovely Soul Warden teammate use a shadow portal?
Hmm. Um, I think I'm looking at my playbook ability. Are you watching closely?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to try and find an opportunity to mislead our foe in some way using my illusions to give us a touch of an advantage, because like this he has the home field advantage, and like he can shape reality, but he may not be able to shape bullshit quite as well. So I'm hoping that I can.
So talk to me in the fiction. How do you try to mislead when he's trying to evade you? How do you try to do it with your illusions? Not
I
saying you
have
can't, but
I
how?
have a suggestion for
I
how Montvine can do
I
it.
have a notion that's really terrible. Um, but yeah, I'm open to suggestions.
I think like sort of like Wile E. Coyote, like painting the tunnel. Like you create, like you see, like you are so quick and aware that you see him like causing mountains to appear. So you start to illuse additional mountains and make him like run additional ways that he doesn't necessarily need to. And you're like, I'm gonna make him like run in circles, or like make him like trap him because he doesn't realize that he's causing more.
What was your terrible plan? Because that sounds like a total way that can work. But what was
Um,
your terrible plan?
so I was thinking that Mountebank could sort of go halfway between Benedict Arnold and playing possum, and sort of create an illusion that she has in some way incapacitated Soul Warden to convince this Pumpkinhead person to let their guard down to give Soul Warden like some kind of advantage. and sort of like
Okay.
just like play the traitor for a second.
All right. I'll let you do that. But
It
hear
just
me
seems like
out.
that seems like the chaos
But
move.
hear
That
me
seems
out.
like the
But
sort
hear
of
me out.
thing that would, yeah.
As you're about to do this, the reason why I'm gonna say that you can do this, but I want you to add a -1, is because your lovely Soul Warden friend, had he not taken the shortcut and done something for her without talking to you, this would have been a great. You could have sold this perfectly, but he's kind of giving you up already. He's making it a much harder sell, basically. So add a -1 to this. So roll me
Okie dokie.
2d6 with just a +1 instead of a +2.
+1 on 2d6. That's gonna be 7.
All right. On that 7, and there's no need to use team because we only have one team, and a 7 to 9 is the same result. On a 7 to 9, please choose one from that lovely list of Are You Watching Closely?
On a 7 to 9. I am
Oh,
trying
I'm sorry. Choose
to.
two. Choose two. Choose two. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I just
Choose two.
choose 2. That's even more
Yes.
exciting.
I know, right?
So, quick clarification before I make my selection. It
Sure.
says you get an opportunity. Does that opportunity have to be for me, or can I create it for a teammate?
It's going to be you because you're the one that's misleading and distracting.
Okay, what I would like to do instead is confuse them for a time and expose a weakness. So I want to convince him that I have incapacitated my ally and do it in a way that highlights a weakness that my ally can take advantage of.
All right. So you're not choosing to avoid further entanglement, and you're
Yes,
not
that
choosing
is
to get an
correct.
opportunity. Beautiful.
That is
Awesome.
correct.
So I think what's going to happen is that the weakness that you're going to expose, and the reason why they're going to be confused for some time, but not before. So essentially, can you do me a favor, love? I know you said that you try to make it look like you incapacitated Soul Warden to make it seem like you were like being like the backstabber of the team, the exactly what you said. Um, but as you're doing that, I'm assuming that you're having to put yourself within arm's reach to sell this, to make it seem like, yes, here is the person you were looking for. Now get me out of here. You got what you wanted. Thing is, yes, he will buy that. He'll be confused for some time, but Asfet is also an eldritch, being, and is not also that dumb. So before he starts to really fall for that trick, hook, line, and sinker, you are going to be swept into his trap, which is how you're going to be uh, caught up and further entanglement, so to speak. So he will be confused for some time, and he will expose a weakness, which is that he will do anything to bring our lovely Soul Warden's soul back. So he's going to spend a little bit too much time obsessing over our lovely Soul Warden, which might give our other teammates a chance to really get the heck out of here or help fix and remedy the situation. But what's going to happen to our lovely two other teammates that did make contact with Asfet is they are both going to disappear out of sight. Our lovely Soul Warden, you are going to find yourself in what feels like this long but very narrow hallway. I want you to think of like the old pyramids and how you had to get towards the depths of where they kept the sarcophagus, and how as you got lower and lower, the halls got more and more narrow. And you're not a small individual, you're not lithe. As you find yourself with this lantern, like this oil lantern, not oil, I'm sorry, you had been carrying a torch. Um, as you're carrying this torch down this hall, um, Niles, you're gonna find yourself in this what feels to be almost like a collapsing hallway where the walls creak unpredictably, and what you're gonna be hearing are the shadows of whispers of your past failures, feeling the weight of the earth pressing down on the walls. as you come to terms with the fact that that torch is slowly getting smaller and smaller, it feels like the walls are closing in. And that's where that scene cuts away from where you're left. And we're going to see our lovely mountebank. You're going to find yourself inside of what you feel to be almost like this nightmarish funhouse. And you find yourself back, regressed in age in this memory, or in this nightmare, I should say, to your 6-year-old self. As you're in an abandoned funhouse, and as you're walking through, the walls are twisting and distorting, reflecting your own past and mischief in cruel and exaggerated ways. As that happens, we're just going to see on the next panel of the comic book, Asphet's chaos creating these illusions and playing on your insecurities. And their eyes are just swirling malevolently. As we cut away from both your personal hells, we cut back to our lovely two heroes who didn't give chase. What are you two doing?
I'm gonna throw it to Sparkle first. You didn't have a chance really yet.
Sparkle, talk to me, my love. Yes.
I am preparing to charge up because I used all of my power to create the shell earlier for us and create that escape for them to create the plan. So I need to tap into this chaotic energy, and you see her flipping through the Arcane Nomicon, and she tries to do a full burn again. And you hear, from the chaos, wild and deep, I call this power. In swirling pink, the magic hums. Forces untamed, it swiftly comes. Through these arcane threads and cosmic flow, fuel my storm, let my power grow. With sparks of light, shadows bend, charge this chaos without end. And I get to roll 2d6 with my one condition of guilty still right now.
Yes.
Come on, come on.
You got this, boo. You got this.
So that is a 6.
We have one team in the pool. You're right there.
Use
my
it.
Lovely
Yes, let's
Moonflower.
do it. Okay. So you're trying to tap into it as you do.
You just
And
helped
I
someone else with their magic, with their powers too.
I'm loving that. Look, I don't know how it's happening. The dice are telling a story.
Yes, they
But
are.
Moonflower's whole premise was like being a leader of people and community, and I love this. I'm living for it. Okay, Sparkle. So you're trying to channel into this chaos energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I regally proclaim. What was it that he said, that chaos has nothing to do with desire? Is that what it was? Cares nothing for desire? Yeah, something to that message, right? To the gist of that chaos cares nothing for like desire. Like it doesn't care. Right? Does not. Yes. And so as I re-quote it and say, chaos revels in unpredictability. Well, who would have predicted that a bubbly pink sparkle witch would tap into and take the energy from he who wants to oppress the people of this earth and change it for his own desire. Take it.
What is Moonflower's like signature color?
Usually it's like a plum mixed with like blues, silvers. You see as they are proclaiming this and their body begins to almost grow slightly. They're slightly hovering off the ground and like just sort of towering. and their color is shifting to a deep plum, like an angry plum
Okay.
color.
In this moment, I'll take the team, which will give me a 7. So then, I still get to now mark full 3 burn. I still have to mark a condition, so I'll take angry, and I will
Oh wait,
say
no, my love. On a 7 to 9 mark condition. Oh yeah, you're still right. Yes, yes. You get the 3 burn and yeah.
3 burn
Sorry.
and a mark a condition. So I'm going to hear her words, and I'm gonna say, I am so over all of this Halloween bullshit. I didn't even get to finish summer, and I will have the pink concentric circles that you normally see. Hearing these words and the take it, I will put my other hand, I will reach past it and pull this like chaos ether, and another magic circle will like layer on top of it, and it has the emblem of Moonflower, and it has your own concentric rings, like you're a layer on top of mine, and it is this deep angry purple, and you see like the pink and purple like magic circles like swirling, and then it sort of in front of me like the as described, and then it just like sort of fades, and then now I have this like pink and purple like glitter around me, and I'm fully charged.
That is
Nice.
so cool.
And what are you gonna do with it?
um do we I'll say, I couldn't have done this without you, charged and ready to go. Do we dive in and help them, or should we just strike?
Wait, isn't that the same thing?
I mean, you're right. You're right. So what do we think? Do we do? I meant, do we try and strike the villain, the pumpkin, or do we try and strike the confinement that our friends are in, because they're
Find our
trapped?
friends.
Find our
We are
friends.
we are weaker when we are separate. We need to find them and bring them together.
I
Okay.
will say that right now, when they disappeared, you don't know where they are, but you do see where Asphet is. And you have this gut feeling that if you actually attack Asphet, that actually might help you get your friends back.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Of
Yeah.
course.
No, we are changing this battlefield. He thinks he rules chaos. He thinks he rules this land. He does not. He doesn't get that. Let's go. And in that as well, I want to, I don't know, because I think we're trying to sort of unleash on him. We know where he is, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
you can definitely
So-
see him because he's taking his time trying to torture our lovely soul warden. That was part of the exposing a weakness that you can all play upon.
Okay. So I don't know if there's maybe a moment in this that we can almost pool our power. There's not really a mechanic for that, right?
Oh no,
I-
there most certainly is directly engaging a threat, but I believe one of you,
Yeah.
our lovely Nova, actually has a burn for this.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna
Ooh,
use
cool.
my. I'm gonna
Cool,
use
cool.
my reality storm, and so instead of the circle that or in front of me, you see the two circles that I called together. I actually memorized them immediately, because to me that felt like we bonded and we are so much closer. And you hear Sparkle starts to chant. By moonlit skies and chaos born, we weave a storm where worlds are torn. Worlds are torn. A lunar glow and cosmic might. We call the storm. Let stars ignite. Reality bends, unbound and free. In moonlit chaos, rise with me. By pink and silver, skies shall break as storm unleashed and heavens quake. And these like magic circles will like woof, 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 and they just like pink and purple layers after layers. And you see we strike now, and they're spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and gyrating so fast. And I say, strike with me. And I like grab your hand like triumphantly, like we're gonna try and do this. And we do, and we like touch the middle of the magic circle, and sort of like one accelerates the other, and it's this like twirling pink and purple like javelin magic spear that just launches towards the Pumpkin King.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Roll me that
So
2d6 push your
badass.
freak instead of danger to directly engage this threat.
Thank you. And my freak is +3.
+3, baby.
That is 7, 8, 9, 10 on the dice. +3
What?
is 13.
I just need to know one thing. Are you gonna mark the extra burn, or are you gonna cause unwanted collateral damage?
Oh, unwanted collateral damage because we are in a Halloween town and she's
Yes,
a
we are. Let's
pink
go, let's
witch.
go, let's go.
She is a pink witch in a Halloween town. She don't care about this freak
I'm dead.
freak show.
I
She's
will
like,
say this.
I'm not about this gore. I'm just like, I'm not about gore. I'm about glitter.
I'm so done. As you do that, my love, and you launch this huge like spear that goes launching right towards the lovely Pumpkin King, Asphet. It is going to. So please do me a favor, my love. Choose 2 options from the directly engage a threat.
Oh, that is correct.
And
Directly
don't forget, if you don't choose to evade or avoid their blows, you will be trading blows.
Correct. Okay, so it makes the most sense because of how we've narrowly described it. When I choose to resist it or avoid their blows because of the distance that we are, and then also I'd like to create an opportunity for my allies. So I'm assuming that this will hurt him enough, or perhaps our magical reality with Moonflower's word and the emotion of our spell, that we were the point of it was to reunite our allies, and so we're trying to create an opportunity for them to break free.
I couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. Chef's kiss.
It's almost like I'm a game master myself.
Oh my gosh.
Almost, right? This is just the GM table over here right now.
Right.
I don't know why you're gagging. He gives it to you every session.
I'm loving it.
So, yeah.
Yes.
I would love to know between Soul Warden and between Mountebank, who would like to get their opportunity first to break out of their nightmare? Because you were both shunted into it at the same exact time.
I feel like the insecure is running out, and
Oh, your insecurity is gone. I already
Oh,
cleared it from your page.
oh no, it's gone. I mean, in the fiction, it's I'm getting over the insecurity, but topple insecurity on top of claustrophobia, and you get a very intense emotional trauma. As it will probably take me some time to break free. Perhaps if you feel a Mountebank, you may be able to break out before me, because I will be stuck in here for a little bit.
I did want to just quickly I forgot to reference. I definitely need Mountebank and my lovely Soul Warden. You both would definitely be afraid, by the way. Facing your fears. So you cleared insecure, but just to mark afraid. And my lovely Mountebank, you just became afraid as you are finding yourself in your 6-year-old body. You have the mentality of your teenage self, but physically you are 6 years old. And
Okay, I did want to clarify about that. I was like, am I fully just like a 6-year-old now? Or like...
No. Mentally, you know, like, what the fuck?
Where's my juice
Okay,
box?
it's a little less terrifying.
Yes.
It's still unnerving, but that's a little less terrifying now.
Yes. You definitely you're still mental acuity. Nothing has changed, just your physical body, which in and of itself could be some total body dysmorphia warping. But with that being said, I will say this: in this moment, what's gonna happen is you find yourself in this warped and twisted funhouse. But because of that opportunity that's been granted to you, you're going to find. I think I remember mentioning you were in that funhouse. And you were basically having your past mischief reflected back to you in really cruel and exaggerated ways. And I'm not even going to detail what that looks like. I think less is more sometimes in these moments. But in one particular really messed up scene, you just see that funhouse mirror crack. And as it shatters, in its place is an actual mirror, not a funhouse warped one. And it shows you your own reflection, your own innocent 6-year-old self. Back when, and it's almost weird and twisted how you've been reduced to the physical form of when you're probably the most innocent, because that's what you see right now. Is that underneath all the crap and the shit you've done in the past, you're still you. You're still that young person that got dealt pretty crappy hand sometimes, but still made your way out of it in the other end. And right now, you would know if you want to get out of here, you have to use your wits. Please do me a favor and roll me a superior right now.
Okay. I am looking at my reflection, and I can tell from my dress that it's the day that my father was sent to prison. And that was when I found out who he was. And I must be not feeling great about it because that's only a 4.
Ooh. Okay.
You said this was for
Mark potential. Yeah, this is
no.
superior. So you would be rolling with
Oh,
a
I'm sorry.
+2.
Then that's a 6. Yeah.
Okay. Um, with one quick second. I was trying to see if you had. You didn't take team. What team? All right. Um, so on that 6, it is still a miss. So please do me a favor, mark potential. But what I think happens is that that mirror that was just cracked, it begins to distort again, and it starts to show you that your choices were never your own. You were always going to be leading down this path, and you start to see a future where you don't just become a villain, you become a bigger villain than your own father. Would that make you feel hopeless, or would that make you feel angry?
Unquestionably.
Hopeless?
Yeah.
Come on, hopeless,
I
baby.
think like yeah, everything here is about trying not to be her dad, and she might not acknowledge it, but it is a full flight from becoming her father. So even the suggestion.
I just want to say one quick thing. If at any moment we feel like we're heading into territory that's out of nowhere, because lines and veils are helpful, but we might hit into something that just hits a nerve, and you find you're not having fun. That's called the X card. You are more than welcome to make an X handshake and be like, I'm not having fun. We're hitting a little too close to something. Can we pause or flash forward? I'd be more than happy to do that if we're heading into that kind of territory, because we are heading into like icky situations where we are dealing with nightmares and fears. So I just want to give you all of your options, my loves. And I understand I'm cognizant. It is 12:07. We're literally 7 minutes after our run time. Would we be okay with just going an extra 10 minutes tops?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm good.
good.
I'm good to go to like
For
12:30.
sure.
Okay, I mean, if you're okay, because remember
Yeah,
you
that's
mentioned
fine.
that. All right, cool. Because I do want to give a chance for us to have
Yeah.
a satisfying climactic end.
Yeah.
So as you see that vision, as your physical 6-year-old form kind of like falls to their knees in the mirror, you're seeing like your late 20-something super villain form fall to her knees as the two reflections are staring at each other juxtapositioned, and we cut away from that scene as we cut over to the next scene where we last left our lovely soul warden. And I believe that you had just found that that light of your torch was just about to get snuffed out, and you're about to feel just almost at the very tip of your head, feel the ceiling just about to touch you before that very same torch reflickers and that light starts to slowly burn. And as it starts to burn again, those whispers of your past failures are starting to get quieted out. And as the light starts to slowly glow, the claustrophobia, you start to feel like there's a bit more breathing room. You can take almost a deeper breath than you could just a second ago. Please do me a favor, my lovely soul warden. In that moment, it's almost in the same exact moment where that spear hit our lovely BBEG Asfet. While you're stuck in this nightmare, you finally have that moment of clarity that if you want to get out of here, your best bet is going to be to use your shadow powers harness it, and manipulate this chaotic environment. Unleash your powers. 2d6 plus your freak, please. I cannot hear.
You're muted.
You're muted, my love.
And your camera just went off. You activate your
Might be
shadow powers
refreshing.
too hard.
Your powers are too strong.
My
Oh.
shadow power, everything went dark because everything was closing in. That was the moment the light went out and saw nothing but darkness. Even me, a portrayer of one that lives in the dark. With that, I take a deep breath and try to remember the wise words of Bast. And I rolled an 8 plus 0.
Plus 1.
Oh, plus 1 because the
Because
yes, the ongoing for 9. I have a plus 0, so my total would be a 9.
On that 9. So basically, this is go hard or go big or go home. You're trying to break out of this
Would you
nightmarish
like a
spells.
10?
Sorry? So
Would you like a 10? Would it be much better if you had a 10?
I mean, you have a chance to make it a 10 if you mark a condition right now.
Who, me?
Yeah, because you're unleashing your powers.
Oh.
So basically, if you mark a condition, you can make it a full hit.
That's
or I can
true.
tell you it's temporary or unstable.
Or I could do something.
Well, I believe in order for you to use boost, you have to be in the same scene.
Oh,
Yes.
darn. Okay.
And right now, you're trying to get that. You're gonna get that.
Oh,
very
we're
soon.
trying to get them. Okay.
Yeah. Trying to break them free.
Feel like the claustrophobia. And then I would first I'll ask before explaining. What if I use team selfishly?
We don't have any team. What
Oh, we don't have
getting is
any?
basically boost, which is an awesome flare that our Nova took.
Uh,
It's like team, but it's not.
oh no, I
Same,
I
but
thought
different.
I thought we actually
But
had
same.
team. I miscounted. I thought we had one. Damn
No,
it.
we used it all.
Okay then. Then I will take a condition.
Which one? How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel like I was already insecure. I could be insecure again, but I feel angry.
Ooh.
I feel extremely furious at what's happening. I am a warden of souls. I am the purveyor of the prominent, the embodiment of Anubis, and one day I shall claim my throne. And in that anger of the gods, I shout out and roar through the darkness. And that is how I unleash my anger, as I just roar and I say, I am the night. I am the shadows. The darkness holds no power over me. I control it. Be gone, apparition! Be gone in the name of Anubis! And I unleash my power over the darkness, over the shadows.
As you let out that chant, you're going to feel Bast's emanating aura say in the back of your head, "Rise, my child. Stand tall against the darkness. I am with you, always." And that is going to be how you're going to shatter through out of that nightmarish realm. And you're going to find yourself right beside your lovely 2 other teammates, our lovely Sparkle and Moonflower. As the 3 of you are reunited, you notice Mountebank is still stuck. And you can feel inside. Bast has warned you, Soul Warden. If you get lost in that nightmare, you're stuck there forever. What are you going to do to help release Mountebank before they're also lost?
So in the fiction, my allies are across from me, my back where I stood before.
Your allies are actually right beside you. You
Ah.
find yourself right within their presence. When they broke you out, you're reunited with them. It's magic. Just go with it.
Friends. By the shadows, I'm glad to see you again. But all is not over yet. Mountebank. She's still stuck in there. We must get her out now, or she will not return.
I'm on it. I'm glad that you came back. And if possible, what Moonflower would like to do, and I think this is unleash your powers. I want to dig deep, like my father instructed, to find that moonlight, to find the energy of our people. I want to dig deep. I want to extend my senses to find Mountebank. Because we have this like connection and we have built that sort of like that potential bond, and I'm trying to sort of tap into that and the thing that drives both my people's power, which is community, and the moon, and somehow find or reach out to her, even if I can't find her, just to give her a landline and be with her in that place.
Now, you think this would be unleashing your powers, right?
But maybe not.
This is more of a defend.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I have a -2 to it, but I'll do
You are
it.
Still very much. You still have a +1 to savior, so it's not a -2 as much as just a -1.
Right.
But I
Right.
will say this: before you try to do that, before you try to make that action, real quick, would anyone try to maybe comfort or support Moonflower and get rid of that insecure? Because there's 3 of you here. It just takes a quick hand on the shoulder or just a look. You don't have to bleed out your heart every time you comfort or support each other. But some of you have more than one condition. More than half of you have 2. Only
That's
one of you needs
true.
a lot of conditions.
How do you
There's no
deal
way-
with... Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, there's no way for us to I can't comfort, we can't comfort each other, right?
Oh,
I
you
still have
most
to-
certainly can. You just can't comfort or support yourself. You need someone else to help you
Oh,
with that.
okay.
Yeah.
So
But at
I
any
guess
moment, you can quickly look at each other and just have that moment. It doesn't have
I'll
to
be-
be a
Okay.
drawn out scene.
so to add to that, then yeah. Oh, go ahead. That's
I will turn to Moonflower after Soul Warden says this dire situation, and I'll say, you're the Queen of Moonlight and the next royalty of the shadows. Apparently, you have the power within you. Use it to find them. I know you can, and I believe in you. You have the power. If you're gonna leave and become queen, you have to be able to at least do this. And I'll try and comfort and support. Roll with my mundane.
As you say that, please do me a favor. Roll with your -1 mundane and also an additional -2 because you're angry with a -3 total.
Yeah, because
So
I'm like, you're gonna
funny.
leave me! Why are you gonna leave me here? We were just starting to be friends.
You roleplayed that so well, too.
Oh
Like,
man,
so
I'm
good.
so sorry. I totally wish I could have helped you, but that's 4 -3, so 1.
That's so funny.
Mark potential.
You're
Mark
gonna...
potential.
You're leaving! You can find him, but you're leaving!
Mark potential. As you start to cry.
Yeah.
I'm oppositely. No.
And I think that real quick, of course, I want to give Soul Warden a chance to kind of interject, because Sparkle, as you're starting to have a moment yourself, really quick, Soul Warden, as Sparkle begins to start crying, and you notice that it's not going the way that you planned, do you interject and try to comfort or support Moonflower in her steed? What do you do, Soul Warden?
Well, it's lucky that I'm just I am also angry.
I'm asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Well, but let's dial it back a second, because maybe I can help with this, because to add to the fiction of when I wanted to reach out, I you know, I see Soul Warden. I already was planning to reach out to Soul Warden. And I think as you had like came back and I brought that energy in, I did that same thing I did before with your portals, but I grabbed both of your hands, both Soul Warden and Sparkle. I have never been in a situation like this, and I want to do well for my people. I'm scared that I won't have it in me. But with both of you here, we can do this. The both of you, and I look at Soul Warden. Just because you fail or misstep does not mean that you are not capable. And it does not mean that you are not meant to do what you were destined to do. Keep going to try to comfort Soul Warden. I'm really just there for Sparkle for fun. I don't know if I can comfort two people, so.
So I will say this though, I do have to settle the role first, so that miss does have to get resolved before this can come into play.
For sure, for sure.
And I think what's gonna happen is that in your head, you feel like you might be spiraling. Sparkle, as as that miss, you feel like you're not connected. That's a 1. Like, it's a pretty bad miss. So I think what ends up happening is you start to open up your ears to the wrong things, and you are basically in that moment you're like trying to comfort, support, and then your eyes start getting bleary with the tears, and as like you're wiping them away, what you end up seeing into focus is that you've kind of been thrust into your own kind of chaotic carnival, where you're now seeing your brothers and your parents appearing as exaggerated caricatures, and you just hear them taunting you as you're being compared to Julian again and again and again. What is the one emotion that's bubbling up in you right now?
It is insecurity. Yeah. She already knew that she had big shoes to fill, and then hearing them point it out, and maybe even one of them was like, one of them even like scoffs and says she's even worse than Max, and like that's
I
like,
would never go there. I would never say that. You said it, not me.
Yeah, I feel like she says that. She says that they probably think I'm worse than Max too. And for the viewers, he is hated if you watch our Magpie from last week.
Yes.
So yeah, she's super insecure. She feels like she's not good enough to help anyone. She has these like witch powers, and she's gonna hurt other people like she hurt herself, and the tattoo on her back starts to flare.
You are not fully gone because you were not sucked into. You didn't make contact with Asphet. You just succumbing to Asphet's control. So in that moment when you reached out for both of your hands, Moonflower, you kind of feel your hands go right through Sparkle's hands before they re-solidify in yours. And Sparkle's almost like coming in and out of reality, as you can feel Asphet trying to suck her in to his illusions. And you feel it right now. If you're going to do this, you need to act. So I understood that before you were trying to get comfort or supported, but now you need to go and defend your teammates. Doesn't matter, I don't care who does it, but one of you must try and defend our lovely mountebank. Who is making this role to defend? It can be a hand-holding combo wombo power, but I just need one role for this defend.
Okay, I would actually like to defend. So we're doing
You have a +3.
But I'll have to add a little bit more of a flair.
Please.
So as I see our gentle Nova, this person who's been a thorn in my side for so long, who harmed me, I feel a kindred spirit. I feel the rage, the love that she has for us. And I would like to use my ability called I Know Who I Am. Once per scene, when I defend a teammate, you can shift your savior up and another label down to any, as well as any other benefits on a move, even on a miss. If I do, I add one team to the pool as I look on over, feeling this anger, and I'm angry myself, but I steel myself and I use the wisdom of Toth as I get down on one knee to meet, because as I'm extremely tall, Sparkle, we're not going anywhere. We are a team. No matter where we are, no matter where we end up, our hearts are always connected. The River Nile rolls through all of us. It connects us, binds us. This is just a stepping stone, and together we can save Mountebank. Now rise. You are no mere mortal. You are Sorceress Supreme. That's your destiny. Moonflower. Together we shall rise. I shall be your shield, you to the blade, and we will save our sister. And I will roll to see if I can defend.
I will just say one thing real quick, my love.
Mhm.
When your savior's at 3,
Mhm.
when your label's at max, and you have to shift it and you can't, you just mark a condition because that's how much you feel the pressure on your shoulders. So quickly mark the condition you're marking, but then please roll that +3.
Feel guilty. I knew that was coming.
I was gonna. Can I say, as Soul Warden says this to me, I don't know if he needs it or not, but I want to do it anyway. And he says, "Rise with me." I'm gonna say, "No, shine with me," and I'll use my boost now to give him a +1 as if I'm pulling from the team. So you can roll with +4.
Boom.
So cool.
Mic drop.
We shine together, and the glow envelops us.
I want to see this fiction. Let's go roll. Come on.
Please, Dice, tell the
Yes.
story we want to tell.
That is a
+4.
10 plus 4 is a
Oh my gosh.
14. And I was
Pow, pow, pow.
That is incredible.
On that full hit of a defend, you just get what you want. On top of adding the benefits. By the way, if you do, you add a team to the pool. So you already add, so now there's one team in the pool, but then you also get the benefits of defending, which is either take influence over someone involved, add a team to the pool, or clear condition on yourself. Which do you choose?
and in letting go, I'm still angry, but I'm no longer afraid. I walk the path because I know who I am. I am a child of Anubis, born to rise. I am Niles Rivers, the Soul Warden, and no more afraid for me.
Mountebank,
So cool.
can you please describe for us how you are able to overcome and break through this nightmarish funhouse of horrors as your teammates combine their powers and blast you through? Like, what is it like in your mind's eye? What does it look like you turning
LM.
away from this future?
They dropped a few minutes ago
Oh no.
and said their computer froze.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Because
Okay,
you might have to
so-
describe that.
Yeah, so I mean, if they're not here anymore, then I will gladly describe that what they see Um, what they see in front of them was their personified, futuristic, villainous version. But what they end up really seeing is just the lies that Asphet is trying to sell. And we just see 6-year-old Valerie stand up and punch the mirror. And after every punch, we see Valerie getting aged up by 2 years. So from 6 to 8, from 8 to 10, until she's finally her same age, and she finally hits that glass one more time with bloody knuckles, but she breaks through. And when she breaks through the glass, she sees that there's a doorway right there. And when she steps through right beside you, and you've all just been reunited as you hear Asphet screeching, as that blast was not just strong enough to be able to break your lovely mountebank free, but was actually able to break through Asphet's illusions, and you've actually just now escaped this realm. Because what you're seeing in front of you is Asphet screaming, but you're now back in Halcyon City. And this embodiment of that Asphet was taking on, of this floating jack-o'-lantern head, is now just corporeal form as he falls to his knees. And he rasps out, "This isn't over. You think your light and friendship has helped you, but you're still mine. You always will be."
Shut it.
And what do you do right before I... Because this is a pumpkin head. This is actual a physical pumpkin head. How do you smash it?
Oh, I think I literally am just like, I just pop off, like, shut up. And then I think I mean, I don't know that I have any, I just am trying to take my moon energy. I'm just digging deep.
Oh, they're back online, baby.
Yeah, I am just digging in, and I am pouring it into, like, the eyes, the holes that is in this floating head, and making it almost like shimmer until it becomes just a moonflower.
Aww. I was thinking more like destruction, but you're more like
Nope.
creation.
I am transforming it. We are not yours. Your lies are all you have.
This figure falls on its knees and falls forward as you now just created this beautiful plant on this earth. I think this might be the first moonflower.
I think it is.
Sustainable resources for your plant?
I mean, as that, yeah, I think to tie that in, I look at this flower, and I don't think I knew that was going to happen. I don't think I knew that I could do that, or that it could survive here. And maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I think that I tap into something. My planet has been struggling because if I never come home, the next moonflower bloom never comes. And it's very important for our people and for our power and for everything. And I felt like I was letting them down by not coming back. But maybe there's more now. Maybe I don't have to, because I was afraid to be in one place and be trapped. But maybe now there's a way that we can bridge between the two places. Who knows?
I would love to quickly ask if there's any closing out scenes, but that was absolutely poetic and beautiful. But is there any like reuniting scenes? Because I did have an idea for our lovely Sparkle. I also had an idea for all of you, but I know we're over in time. But that was just absolutely breathtaking. Is there anything that anyone wants to add or say to that before we? My scenes are like very quick, like very like Street Fighter 2, like tap tap, 2 scenes are done.
Love it.
I don't want to take away from the scarcity and rarity of the moonflower here, but I would think that maybe now that it's here and it exists, it's like something that we can, I don't want to say like study or analyze, but I want to say like Sparkle. Can we say that like in the fiction, like we, we're friends, like you and I would blow off steam. So maybe I know how important this is and how awe-inspiring it is. And I just want to be like, oh my God. And I have my last um, reality storm flare. So I want to say, like, now that these exist here and you brought them here, this is your domain and you're the queen of our land. You can be a queen here. And I want to sort of just like spin her and like sort of like grab and hug her and like spin her, and as we like spin her, sort of like Mary Poppins field of flowers, and like just field of these moonflowers just start to bloom under our feet and around us. And I'm like, this is your domain, you don't have to leave.
It's a one shot. Why the heck not?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's do.
I think you just see Moonflower begin to cry, and the wisps and things that were tendriling off of her, it becomes very shimmery and light. It's a lighter shade of purple. There's light blues like the sky. And as this field of flowers come out, I hug you and I hold you, and then I like kind of grip you by the shoulders and look at you. I still have to go home, but what you've done is so beautiful, and I think maybe I'll be able to come back to see you. Who knows? But we've started something, and I really appreciate you.
I
Thank
appreciate you too, Moonflower.
And you're a really good witch.
Thank you. I want to be.
You are. There's no want. You are.
I am. You're right.
She is right.
I'm the daughter of the Crimson Caster and Mr. Weird. I am the Pink Witch, Sparkle.
And don't let anyone forget it. You hear your brother say from behind you, as Julian and
God,
Max
that is so cute.
have come back.
Oh my God, what are you doing here? I'll run and jump in their arms.
They both envelop you in a group family hug. And Soul Warden, you are going to have one last scene with our lovely, I believe you said it was Nefertiti, who is going to, I mean, you all have shadow powers, and that's your family suite, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're going to see that Nefertiti's cat, that's her animal familiar, is going to graze along your leg. And Nefertiti, because I believe that also stands for like the Sphinx and the cats, her main, the main deity that she also prays to and reveres is Bast. And this cat, it's like you were chosen, but you know that's not the case, but you kind of feel like it is. But the cat, when it rubs up against your leg, it looks up at you, and it has a little twinkle in its eye. And that twinkle is how your mother communicates with you. And she says that she is very, very proud of you. She cannot wait to sing your praises at the next family reunion. Because what you just did today most certainly went noticed. So, I had a scene for my lovely Valerie. I would love to. I mean, of course, you know our lovely Moonflower. The ship comes. You already alluded to it. You're so sweet about that. But you gotta go back, get your butt back home. You promised, Dad.
I promised.
You promised. And I think as we cut away, the last scene is just gonna be Mountebank at Spike, which is like the high, wow. Why am I brain farting? Because it's fucking 12:39. Sorry. The maximum facility prison over at Aegis, where we see that she has a sit down, a visit with dear old Pops, And as her father takes a seat, he picks up the phone and looks at his daughter, and his eyes kind of narrow as she's just smiling at him. And he says, "What are you smiling at?" And then she just says, "Because I'll never be like you. Not as long as I have the friends that I do. Goodbye, Dad." And she hangs up the phone. And she starts to walk away. We just hear her dad shouting obscenities as it's so far behind her. It's not even, the words aren't even legible on the comic book panel. They're like chicken scratch. As she feels a whole 178 pounds lighter. And
Beautiful.
that's going to be the end of our lovely one shot tonight. Thank you all so much for participating
Yay.
in this lovely one shot of Trick or Trap.
Yes!
Yes.
My name is Luis-Miguel. It was an absolute pleasure GMing for all of you. If you would like to get just a taste of this for yourself, please feel free to find me over at Magpie Games /pages Luis-Miguel. And I'd be looking forward to having you in my games in the future. But also, thank you all, the freaking lovely role-playing people, individuals, because you're also game masters. So please give us some awesome shout-outs where we can find you as well.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, awesome. How about we just go and start off with you, our little moonflower. Awesome job.
Thank you. Yes, what an absolute joy. Oh my gosh. Loved this game. Very, very cool. And all of you are incredible. Yeah, I run games. I run a little TTRPG server called Misfit Manor. It is specifically designed to increase inclusivity, accessibility in gaming. I needed a space personally in my life, and it has grown to, it's a humble size server, but we're always growing and doing lots of games, a variety of systems. So Misfit Manor, Divergent Dryad, and actually I think I posted in my Twitch profile, the link should be in there just to join the Misfits. So yeah,
Awesome. Can't wait to join myself.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. And I'll go next. I can't wait to join the Misfit Manor. I am Travis, otherwise known as Zendaric, your resident wizard here at A Tale of D20s. And you can find me at OMG It's Travi on X and Twitter. That was before I thought about unifying my names, or Zendaric in most other places. So that's where you can catch me. And you can actually see me gaming for Magpie Madness later on this month. So besides playing in Urban Shadows on Fridays and Passion de Passions on Saturdays, this upcoming Sunday and the following Sunday, I will be GMing Urban Shadows for our folks here. So come check us out.
And I'll be playing.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot wait. It's gonna be so much fun.
I'm so excited. Characters very different.
Oh, I love it. So, again, thanks, for the players. It was a wonderful session. I really enjoyed the banter, the back and forth. I really loved the fiction we built together and felt so freeing and easily built. Like, we built it so well together. So that was just so wonderful. So thanks for that, and I'll see you all around.
Yeah, and I guess I'll sign us off. Well, this was an amazing session. Thank you so much. Excuse me. Thank you so much, LM. This was a magical experience. I was totally just so captivate into it, and sans all the little knickknacks here and there because technology, it was a magical friggin' time, and I thought everyone did fantastic. Loved Morgana, and she got her and her brassness with her character, and Moonflower, oh my goodness, Virgin, that was so special, so magical, brought tears to my every scene.
Truly.
Travis, just yes, Travis, you know that was
Right.
them. I was like, that was me who said, "Okay, Maya Angelou." You spinners words.
You know me.
Yeah.
That
I
was
mean,
so
I,
good.
I was specifically asked by LM to incant, so I had to.
I loved
I'm
it.
so glad. I just had such a fun time. Everyone did an amazing job. Well, yes, as Zendaric Travis had said before, you can catch everything until these. We are having more sessions. Coming up. Please check out the calendar. At ATOD20s.com/events to see. We're going to be adding more because I believe we are bringing back a part 2 to our other mass game, Mass Tarot, coming up. You'll check the calendar. I believe it's the 20th day. I can't remember off the top of my head.
29th.
29th. Ooh, there we go. So that's going to be really fun as we dive into that. We have tons more games. We have a couple of spooky zombie games. We have more to show, and we might have some Avatar games pop up in there. Who knows? It's ever changing. It's the madness of Magpie Madness.
Please stay tuned for my Zombie World game coming out next week, Wednesday on the 25th.
Oh, please, yes.
My math's right. My math. Nope. The 23rd. Next week, the 23rd. Right?
Yes.
23rd.
23rd, yes.
I gotta find
23rd.
out. I'm sorry.
20 blue years old.
Yeah, 23rd.
23rd.
At the 20 blue day of this month.
It's late for us there.
Yeah.
But
It's real late.
but please catch us there. You can see we have a lot more to show. Thank you everyone who entered Magpie Madness. Remember, we're doing a giveaway, and on Friday during Urban Shadows, we'll be giving away one core book of games, such as this lovely game of Mass that we just played. And of course, all those who donated. I do have to give a shout out to the amazing donation we had. We got raided by Unnatural Ones. Thank you so much, Unnatural, for that amazing raid. Thank you for the follows, Alta Panda, Hyperface, Sir Kaikin or Kikin, sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, and the earlier followers as well. And thank you for the donation, Sir Kikin and Alter Panda 23. Awesome donations. We are now up to $430. As you know, we're doing this all for the Trevor Project. So thank you so much. That touched us from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe.
Can't
and
wait,
See you all
everyone.
very soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye. From the first as Morgana just comes back as we say
Oh no!
from the first chapter to the last page. Be kind to one another, spread love, and we will see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone. Cue the outro.